Hey guys, okay, so I'm live, and if I'm scaring you, it's because I don't have makeup on because I'm gonna do it on camera because I have stuff to do today, later on today, and it's always good to do it with you guys. Let me know if you can hear me, please. As always, let me know if my mic is working, because if it's not, there's no point in talking. Oh, thank you guys. Okay, so you can hear me. Already a $50 super chat. Jesus, that's so kind, from Kelly Graham. Thank you so much, Kelly. And to anyone who sends in super chats, just know that I will be responding live. It doesn't matter that I'm doing my makeup. I am a good multitasker. New member to Tiger Duster. Thank you. Oh my God. I love you guys. Okay, so guys, here's the thing. I really wanted to rant. I have a few updates of things that have happened to me since the video, updates about Jessica, and also, what was it gonna be? Oh yeah, just like some stuff I have to talk about. Like, first of all, just a minor frustration. A few minutes before I came on here, I looked in my spam in my email, which I never ever do, right? Who does? Oh, thank you guys. I'm gonna answer super chats really, really quick. I looked in my spam, right? And I have a television interview request from yesterday at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. yesterday. And they wanted me on yesterday afternoon live. And it was a major network. And they wanted to talk about the Jessica Yaniv thing. And had I seen it, I would have done that. And so I reached out and I said, hey, I'm really sorry. You know, this went to my spam. Go figure. We can do it today. And I haven't gotten a response. So that's just one little minor frustration. Like, it would have been cool to be on that network. It would have been just good for all of us to have more eyes on what we're all doing here, but you know, whatever. TV is dead anyways. Internet is where it's at. But that's just one thing. Let me read these first few super chats, and then I want to talk more about Jessica Yaniv, because it's been going around that Jessica Yaniv is now, there's like victims coming forward talking about misconduct, and that is really crazy because, I mean, I guess it's not crazy. I guess it's not surprising at all, is it? And I'm thinking about doing some sort of fundraiser for those victims. Let me know if that's something you guys would participate in. I don't know what form I would do it. Maybe a separate live stream from this one where we're able to donate. I don't know. But I just feel like that would be cool to do. At the very least, I want to maybe donate the AdSense from the last video to them, which I don't know how much the AdSense I even made, let's be honest. But let me respond to a few of these. Thank you, Alex Gordonson, who says, before I started watching you, I felt so alone. Thought I was the only trans person who had my views. Thinking of starting my own channel soon. Please follow my Twitter. That's so sweet. You are not alone, clearly. That means the world to me, and I'm going to follow you on Twitter right now. And I do encourage you to start a YouTube channel. Anytime anyone expresses to me, like, I'm thinking about doing YouTube, or should I do YouTube? The answer is yes. YouTube is an amazing platform. It has changed my life, and so I definitely suggest you do that as well. Have you guys seen the Jessica Yaniv video? Someone was trying to speak to, do I say her? Do I say him? Do I say they? Do I say zer? Like, I don't know what I'm even comfortable with saying, because I'm willing to use, you know, pronouns people are comfortable with, and that's fine, but I don't know what I'm comfortable with when it comes to this person, right? Put it in the chat what pronoun I should use. Thank you, Ori Main, who says, Blaire White Cosmetics, anyone? Listen, I'm not good enough at makeup to create makeup. However, I was thinking about making boob shine, because you guys know I'm all about highlighting that area, and that might be something we can do. Joey always tells me to make boob shine. Thank you, Dino Man, who says, hey, Blaire, you look lovely. I hope you had a good day. I am having a good day. I have some stuff to do later, which is why I'm doing my makeup on camera. But today's really good. Hope you have a good day too. But anyway, guys, on Twitter, there's this video going around of Jessica Yaniv, and someone trying to speak to Jessica Yaniv in the elevator, and Jessica Yaniv is saying, "I'll mace you, get out." And the person is like, "This is a public space. I can go in the elevator." And Jessica Yaniv is like screaming. And I think it's Jessica's mom that's in the video too. It's just really funny. But one thing I really want to get into in this stream, you guys, is the reaction I've been getting from LGBT activists on Twitter. And I'm definitely going to stray away from generalizing because, you know, obviously the overall reception by people, LGBT and not LGBT, has been positive towards my video. But of course, there is still a sizable amount of people that take issue with me exposing a pedophile, which is crazy, right? Like, who has issue with someone exposing a pedophile? I don't know. I do know LGBT activists. One criticism, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen last night, and I will continue with the super chats, you guys. You would have saw last night someone quote tweeted my tweet where the Jessica video, and was like, "There goes Blaire pandering to conservatives again, betraying her community again." And I'm just like, y'all are sick. Y'all are so sick and demented and messed up in the head that you really, first of all, want to even consider Jessica Yaniv part of your community. Jessica Yaniv is not part of my community, and if Jessica Yaniv is part of my community, you can count me out of that community. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what is the implication that, like, condemning pedophilia or misconduct and that sort of thing is a conservative virtue? Because I don't think that's true. I was under the impression, and maybe I'm wrong here, I know I'm not wrong, but I was under the impression that, like, pedophilia was universally hated, not just hated by conservatives. And then it's also like, if I wanted to pander for personal gain, I think I would have had a lot more success in my life, a lot more money, a lot more notoriety if I pandered to liberals. Let's just be real. I think there's a lot more money, a lot more opportunity in being a liberal trans commentator than a conservative one. But that's just something I've seen, and, you know, clearly it's not the majority, but I've seen it a good 50 or so times on Twitter, which is sizable considering, you know, for every person that tweets you, there's probably like 100 more that think it. So I don't know. Let me read some of these super chats. Thank you, Chana Goanna, with no message. Thank you, Austin Jennings, who says, "I love you, girl. Keep up the good work." Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Miles Swan, who says, "Use it when describing Jessica Yaniv." That one I'm actually not uncomfortable saying. I can actually go with that one. Thank you, Diego C. Thank you, Katie P, who says, "Any update on the Cat Black tweet?" Yeah, Cat Black. First of all, Cat Black is a trans activist, for those of you who don't know. She is quite well known in the YouTube sphere, in the trans sphere. We had the same birthday, by the way. My last name is White, hers is Black. We had the same birthday, September 14th in 1993. Isn't that weird? We're literally like polar opposites in every single way, like liberal, conservative, Black, white, last name White, last name Black, same birthday. Like, it's so weird. But anyways, Cat Black, you know, was the only prominent trans activist. I've seen a lot of trans people condemn Jessica Yaniv, but she's the only prominent activist and someone who is a self-proclaimed activist, you know. Did the power go out? No, it didn't. Even mention this story, right? That's not to say there haven't been plenty of trans people condemning it, but, you know, the reality is some voices do go farther just by a sheer number of people following them, and Cat Black has a platform. And basically, Cat Black, her response was basically her rolling out of bed, rubbing the shit out of her eyes and saying, "Why do I have to care about this?" That's what she said on Twitter, was, "Why should I care about this? Why should I use my time to talk about this?" First of all, Cat, if you're a decent human being, the reason you should care is because children are potentially being harmed and can be harmed. So that's the first thing, you know. And again, you don't have to talk about what I want you to talk about on your platform, but it's just a weird question to say, why should I care about a predator? Well, you should care because you're potentially helping people by speaking out. That's the first thing. The second thing is, Kat's reaction was basically to, instead of condemning this person or being an example of a trans person who was rebuking this sort of thing in our community, her reaction was to go on like a 20 tweet tirade about how she doesn't have to condemn it and how it's transphobic to expect that because she's trans, she has to condemn a trans person for being a predator. And at face value, that argument might have merit, but here's where she falls short. It's not about condemning a trans person because, first of all, I think anyone who knows anything about being trans or has met any trans people would probably know that Jessica Yaniv, in my opinion, is not trans. And second of all, it's not about condemning someone because you are also trans. It's about pushing back against this narrative and this storyline that is currently all over the internet. I've seen it, you've seen it, we've all seen it, that the community supports pedophilia and supports predatory behavior. So yes, the people who think that Jessica Yaniv, like I said in the video, the people that think that Jessica Yaniv is an example of all trans people or reflects all trans people or reflects me or reflects Kat Black, they're wrong and they're idiotic for believing in that. But that's also the state of the world. A lot of people are idiots and a lot of people need to be educated. And if you're not willing to do that, Kat, if you're not willing to fight against that stereotype that harms us so much, then how are you calling yourself a trans activist? It seems to me that activism is pushing back against negative stereotypes and painting us in a better light. And if you're not willing to do that, then what is your activism? So that's, you know, why isn't okay, it's refreshing. I thought my internet went out. I was like so upset about that for a second. I was like, great, I'm ranting for 20 minutes and no one heard me. So that's the first thing. What activism are you doing? And then she says, can someone explain to me why I should have to appeal to transphobic people who think trans people are predators? It's not about appealing to them, Kat. It's about educating them, which is supposedly what you claim to do, but you don't do that. You know, what I'm realizing is that people like Kat, you know, all these activists and these advocates online, they're not interested in engaging with people who have negative feelings about trans people and dunking on them, as we say, or proving them wrong. They're interested in only speaking to people who are already comfortable and okay and support trans people. Think about it. Do you think anyone watches Kat Black that doesn't fully understand trans people? Do you think anyone watches any of these people that, you know, like, she's only speaking to people who already agree with her? And to me, what is your activism if it's not directly engaging people who don't like us? I don't know. Like, to me, what is the point in making the 500th video about how people should respect trans people to an audience of only people who respect trans people? So it's not about appealing to them, Kat. It's about engaging with them. And oftentimes these transphobic people, right, these people that, you know, supposedly hate trans people so much, right, are really just people who don't understand because they haven't had one example to the contrary. A lot of these people that have found my video and that have been tweeting me have been saying, I haven't seen one example into the contrary that trans people don't support pedophilia. Think about how sick that is. They haven't seen one person before my video, and it's not about me, but they haven't seen one person before that give them any reason to think that the trans community doesn't support pedophilia. And my whole thing is Kat could have been one of those people. All these activists and these advocates and these people who constantly tweet about how bad I am harming the trans community could have been that example. You know, Kat Black, I remember it was like a year or two ago, went on a live stream, her live stream on her channel, and for about an hour she talked about me and how she thought I was going to detransition because I'm not really trans and all this stuff. And it's like, so you can condemn me time and time again, you can talk about me, but you can't condemn an actual pedophile in the community? Okay, clearly Kat Black is stupid. And I don't throw that word around because it's a harsh word, but Kat Black is stupid. The point? Gone. Anyways, I need to answer some of you guys' messages because I feel like I'm rambling. Thank you, Xander, who says, love your content, Blaire. I wasn't sure if you knew, but Jessica is also racist towards Indians and other racial minorities. Yeah, that's another weird part of this, is that Jessica Yaniv was seen like talking bad about like immigrants and like brown people. I was like, how are you going to be a pedo and racist? Like, choose one, please. Best case scenario, don't be either. But if you're going to be both, can you just leave planet Earth soon, please? Let me contour my nose. I look like a ghost right now with only foundation on. Thank you, Austin Jennings, again, who says you're always so well-spoken and always make great points. Before watching you, I was an SJW and now I'm not. Follow my Twitter, please. I will follow your Twitter right now, and thank you so much. The real Austin CJ. It is so hot in my apartment, you guys. I'm sweating, which is not good for putting makeup on. I feel like there's no point because I'm just sweating it off. My upper lip is sweating so bad. Thank you, Dino Man, who says, have you seen some good TV shows lately? You know, you guys, I watch a lot of documentaries like on Netflix. I watch pretty much every documentary on Netflix about like everything. And then I also, on the other end of the extreme, I watch a lot of trashy reality television. So I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance, a lot of, what's that show about the little people, the Little Women of LA? Love that. What else? A bunch of different things. Lost in Transition is the craziest reality show. It's about like really old men who transition into women and they leave their wives and stuff, which is a whole other topic. And we'll get into that if you guys want me to talk about that. It's twisted. Thank you, Brandonero or Brandino, who says, how do you feel about Chris Pratt getting hate for wearing a Don't Tread on Me shirt? Yeah, that was so stupid. Here's my thing, is like a lot of these articles, a lot of these BuzzFeeds, these Yahoo Newses, these publications are really only interested in clicks, which is like, I'm a YouTuber. I guess it's hypocritical, of me to say that, but it's true. And so they will take like two people in the middle of nowhere tweeting and calling it a white supremacist shirt, two people on the entirety of the internet. And they'll write an article about it and they'll say, people are saying this is a white supremacist shirt. There's 300 million people in the United States, right? You're going to write an article about two of them who said something and pose it as if this is something people are really talking about. Like, no, they're not. No one in their right mind thought that was a white supremacist shirt. Thank you, the Koala King with no message. Thank you, Caitlin Alexis, who says, I'm trans and I don't always agree with you, but I love you. Thank you, Caitlin. A lot of my fans don't agree with me on a lot of stuff. And that's why I appreciate them so much more, because we don't have to agree all the time. Do you guys see where I'm coming from with the cat thing? Like, it just really was gross. Thank you, Ori Main, who says, Blaire White boob wipe. Also curious on your advice for a conservative gay ginger having a YouTube and trying to be a successful musician, seeing as how the music industry, as much as Hollywood appears, is anti-right. I am not in a position to give you any advice on the music industry. I'm just gonna be real. Like, I could be fake and be like, do this, but like, I don't know anything about that industry at all. So I don't feel comfortable. Thank you, Tamia, with no message. Thank you, the Koala King. Thank you, A2P, who says, look at Kiwi Farms. There's so much about Jessica Yaniv on there. Yeah, that's actually where I did some of my research, was that website. Thank you, Andrew Jennings, who says, my twin, Austin, and I love watching you. Shout out to Austin and your twin. Thank you, Vash the Ashtray, who says, wait, Cat Black is still relevant, LOL. Cat Black's out there, you know what I mean? She still has a platform, and I feel like she could have done so much better with it. And I don't want to police what people do, right? But I also just thought her reaction was stupid. So I need to do eyeliner. Thank you, That Fox, who says, I don't get why the trans community defends them. You know, it's not so much about the trans community defending them. It's more so about the trans community being just like so terrified of condemning, which, you know, silence is almost as bad as endorsing, honestly. Let me do this eye really quick, you guys. To me, it just should have been the easiest thing in the world to condemn and separate ourselves from this person. And for some reason, no one could do it. And I didn't understand. And then Anthony Fantano, Anthony Fantano wanted to tweet me talking about the trans community doesn't have to issue a statement over every bad trans person. And it's like, yeah, or he said they shouldn't have to. And it's like, yeah, we shouldn't have to. I agree. But don't you think it would be beneficial for the people with platforms in the trans community to push back against it? Like, do you want there to just be the stereotype online, or would you want to push back on it, even if it's shitty that we have to? No one said it's like the greatest thing in the world that we have to. But the fact remains that we kind of have to. The amount of people that have tweeted me, commented, messaged, since that video that I did, being like, wow, I didn't know, you know, anyone in the trans community was even against this, is scary. It should not be a question that our community does or doesn't condemn pedophilia. It should just be a no-brainer. But it's not. It's not a no-brainer to a lot of people. And we have to be willing to accept that and accept the fact that it is crappy that we have to say something. Like, I'm not saying it's the greatest thing in the world that we have to say something. That is wonky as hell. Oh my God, it is so hard to do makeup on webcam, you guys. But it's the reality. That does not look even to me. And I'm sweating so bad. Let's see. Thank you, Leah, who says you're so pretty. Holy shit. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Dustin, with no message. I am burning up over here. Oh my God. Thank you, Emily, who says, hi, Blaire. I love you and your content so much. I've been watching you for a while. Please follow my Twitter. I will follow your Twitter. Thank you. Let's see. What's your Twitter? Cry on egg. I cannot believe how hot it is. I mean, I can. It's July in California, but oh, my hair is like sticking to my back. I'm sweating so hard. Thank you, Kellen, who says, didn't Jessica send photos of herself in girls' jeans to a 15-year-old asking for opinions and stuff? I didn't see that in particular, but I did see a lot more predatory messages than I had even seen from Yaniv to young girls, where Yaniv is saying things like, if you were a few years older, I would. Saying things like, would you ever be into a guy who wears pads? And that's the other thing. For everyone criticizing me for thinking that that person isn't trans, do y'all know any trans woman who refers to themselves as a guy? Do y'all know any trans woman who just like loves their lower anatomy so much that they're willing to try to get it waxed by 12 different people? Because that's not any trans person I've ever met. And that is just not, that is just not on the agenda of trans people. Period. We don't call ourselves guys. Even if you think we're all guys, we don't call ourselves that. So why? Let me see. Thank you, Co-Ocean, who says, hi, Blaire, I'm a trans guy and you're such an inspiration to me. I really admire you standing up for your beliefs. You really helped me through a lot and I love you. Thank you, Co-Ocean. That's so sweet. Shout out to you. Let me see. Thank you, Bradley the Wolf. Thank you, Hunter Markey. Thank you, Tactical Big Boss, who says, love your videos, Blaire. Thank you. Thank you, Sierra, who says, cheers, sweetheart. Cheers right back. What are you guys all doing this weekend? Like, what are your weekend plans? What's really good? I'm going to Six Flags with my friend JC and also with Joey on Sunday. And tomorrow I'm going to try to film a main channel video that I'm hopefully putting out Monday or Tuesday. Thank you, Kim, who says, thank you for using your platform to bring awareness to this. Thank you, Kim. Let me see. Thank you, Alicia, who says, hi, Blaire, did you fangirl when Ricky Gervais liked your post? I love him and you. I did fangirl a little bit. Shout out to Ricky Gervais. A lot of people were tweeting him my video, and then he saw it and liked it. So I thought that was really cool. Because I know he was calling that person out too. Let me see. Thank you, No Name, who says E right back. Right on back. Thank you, Mr. Victor Howard, who says, hey, Blaire, you're awesome. Just wanted to show some support. You're awesome too, and I appreciate your support. Love you. Let me get this eye on. Okay. Need a little more there. Let's see. Thank you, MA, who says, love you, Blaire. Love you too, MA. Thank you, Eric Hammer, who says, afternoon. Hope everything's okay in California today. Everything is okay in California, except for the horrendous way that the California government runs things. You know what I mean? Lots of potholes, honey, that we are now making it illegal to even call manholes, right? What else? A plethora, like literally half the population of LA is homeless at this point. For those of you who don't know, if you have this glamorous image of Hollywood, all you gotta do is visit one time. You will see so many homeless people, it will blow your mind. When I first moved here, I was like, Hollywood's so glamorous, there's the Walk of Fame, and there's, you know, just celebrities everywhere, and everyone's wealthy, and that is a damn joke. That's a joke. It's not the truth. There are so many homeless people here. It is such a hard city to stay afloat in. It is so expensive. And we do nothing to help the homeless here, unfortunately. Instead, we make, you know, mandates about how you can't call manholes, because that's somehow sexist or transphobic or whatever. So that sucks. Thank you, True Dat Belly Fat, who says, what are your thoughts on removing gender dysphoria from the DSM? To my knowledge, it would hurt the trans community because there's no longer a medical diagnosis, meaning insurance can refuse to cover treatments. Yeah. This is where trans activism can really bite itself in the foot, because on one hand, they advocate for, you know, insurance covering trans-related procedures, while also saying that gender dysphoria isn't real. You don't have to have dysphoria to be trans. And it's like, that is what validates us, is that there is a medical diagnosis and there is science behind being trans. And you remove that, good luck getting anything covered by insurance. Not that that's a whole other conversation of if it should even be covered by insurance. I personally paid for all my transition. And I'm not judging anyone who didn't or did use insurance or whatever, definitely not judging. But you know, that's that. Thanks, Nate, who says, Blaire, you should do a live chat with Shane Dawson on political views such as non-binary. Shane is not political. Shane will never be political on YouTube, at least I don't think. I mean, I don't have any reason to believe he would. But I would like to do another video soon with him. Let me multitask and do my eyeshadow. Let me see. Thanks, Kylie, who says, Seb is from my hometown and he'll do anything for clout. I'm sorry, Blaire. Yeah, Seb, you guys, is the non-binary person I was supposed to debate last week who completely flaked. And ironically, make of it what you will, he has pedophilia accusations against him. Why is everyone in 2019 a pedophile? What the fuck is going on? Literally, I didn't know until I announced I was debating him, because he is a prominent non-binary figure online. I announced I was debating him, and then all of a sudden I'm getting all this hate on my Instagram, like, why are you platforming him? He's a pedophile, all this. And I'm like, really? So I look, and there's all these videos of accusations against him. And I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Let me see. Let me refresh this. It's so hot. Thank you, Izzy Busy, who says, hey, Blaire, I love you. It feels like Florida in Ohio right now. It sucks. Have you ever been to Cedar Point? Can you follow my Twitter? I can follow your Twitter, and I have been to Cedar Point. Cedar Point was bleak. I have to be real. Ohio is my least favorite state ever. Least favorite state. Did not enjoy my time in Ohio. It was quite bleak. It was mostly just flat, nothing there. The little towns that you drive through are super depressing. Was not impressed with Ohio, but no shade to you if you live in Ohio. Thank you, LL, who says, love you, Blaire. Please reassure Jacqueline that she did the right thing regarding Eugenia. Listen, beyond my like tweet of support of Jacqueline, I really didn't want to even get involved in that because it's a mess. And You guys know I'm friends with both Jacqueline and Shane. My name was Bennett and I ain't in it. All the best to Eugenia and all the best to her recovery. Anorexia is tragic and all the best to her, seriously. Thank you, Mushka Joe, who says, what is your opinion on the disparity of sexual child abuse and LGBT? 86% of child abuse victims identify as gay or bi. Are they flying a false flag? I would have to really look into those statistics. I don't know if those statistics are valid. What I do know is that abuse when you're a child can really skew your sense of self, your sense of sexuality, your sense of everything. And so I wouldn't doubt if you know, there was some sort of link there, but I really don't know. I know I've never been abused as a kid. I mean, you guys know I went through some stuff as a 19-year-old, but never as like a kid. Let me see. Thank you, Ori Main, who says, please follow me on Twitter. This weekend, we're visiting my grandma after she had a heart attack. She's doing okay, but we wanted to be here just in case. Shout out to your grandma and your whole family. That's so sad. Let me follow you. Ori M. Official. All the best to your grandma. By the way, you guys, I'm not going to talk about this again, really, because it's something I figured that I'm going to do. Last night, I kind of decided I'm going to do this. And tell me what you guys think, please. This is going to sound crazy, but then again, it's not crazy. So don't call me crazy. I am currently putting in motion and working on. Someone's knocking. Hello? Joey?
No, it's Woody.
Oh, hey, Woody. My friend Woody's here. So I am currently, you guys, trying to put in motion a meeting with the president. Does that sound crazy? Not really. I am only a few degrees in reality of separation from the president in terms of people that I know, people that work in and out of the White House. And I personally think that it would be beneficial for trans people and for conservatives to have some sort of meeting where I just talk to him. And it's something I'm really working on, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but I just want to let you guys know this is part of me manifesting it into reality, that it's something I want to happen. And I feel like talking about it and vocalizing it will make it happen better, have a better chance of it happening. I just think, you know, I really want to fix this divide and this hurt and this pain that comes from the whole trans and conservative and how they're supposedly antithetical type of thing. And I feel like no one else is going to do it. So I feel like I need to do it. So that's what I'm working on right now, you guys. And I think it's going to happen, just so you guys know. Next. Tell me what you guys think about that. Thank you, M. Victor Howard, who says the wifey noticed me. Thank you. I did notice you. Thank you, Willie Handy, who says mom. You guys can't call me mom and not get me gifts for Mother's Day, low key. Hey. Let me see it. Thank you, Cody Lester, who says, I'm curious, are you receiving the normal amount of hate for the Yaniv video? I'm really not getting that much hate. Bella. But you know, it does, obviously it is out there still too on Twitter and stuff. But you could say, like, I love puppies on Twitter, and there would be someone that comes up with a reason why you should kill yourself because of that opinion on Twitter. So.
Are you live right now, Blaire?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Live. Talking to all the girls of the world.
What it do, folks? I'm Woody. You can't see me, but I'm over in the corner, petting Bella.
Shout out to Woody.
Hey.
Thank you. What's up?
I'm gonna go enjoy some sun.
Okay.
So you guys have fun on the internet.
Have fun, Woody. Woody came to go hang out at the pool. Let me see. Thank you, Kingsley, who says, hi, you've broadened my political views so much. Thank you. I'm glad I have. Let me see. Thank you, Athena, who says, how old is Yaniv? I don't know. How old is Yaniv? Does anyone know? I need to do my makeup a little faster than this because I'm getting kind of tired of even doing it. Does anyone know how old Yaniv is? Thank you, XX Roses, who says, please talk about Lost in Transition. That show is cringy as hell. Yeah, so Lost in Transition, you guys, is a show about late transitioners. We're talking like 40s, 50s, 60s. These men who decide all of a sudden, I'm going to be a woman, right? These people have wives, kids, families, careers. And the show basically follows, it's on TLC. The show basically follows the trials and tribulations of like going through transition that late. And I kind of feel like low-key, we got to figure ourselves out earlier before 50 and 60 when you have wives and kids whose lives you're going to like negatively impact by transitioning. And that might not be a popular opinion, and that's fine. But like, you got to figure that shit out earlier. Because how tragic is it to be a woman who's married to a man, you know, a straight woman who's married to a man who decides they want to be a woman now. And you're left, you know, to pick up the pieces, and you're not attracted to women or trans women, you know, these wives. That to me is just crazy. And it might seem hypocritical because you guys know that I am friends with Caitlyn Jenner, or we're cool, I guess, and I do like her, but that family has billions in the bank. They're fine. But these other families who like now the kids are uprooted from the divorce and the wives have nowhere to go, and like it's sad. And it's super cringy. And it's very cross-dresser vibes, a lot of these people, low-key. Let me see. Thank you, Jordan Dare, who says the left constantly wants us to condemn everything they're against, but it's okay for them to stay silent when this stuff happens on their side. Hypocrisy. Love you and your content. You know, I don't know. I don't want to get so up in my feelings about how, you know, a minority of people are refusing to condemn or even support this person. But it is weird, and I don't want it to be something where like it's a conservative virtue to like be against pedophilia, because that's the wrong thing and that's not true. But when you attack me saying I'm pandering to conservatives by condemning a pedophile, you're making it seem that way. And that's a dangerous road to go down. We shouldn't feel like it's a conservative thing to condemn pedophilia. That's called being a decent human being thing. Let me see. Thank you, Katie Amber, who says, hey, Blaire, what's the Peppa trans discussion? In the last live stream, everyone was trolling me that Peppa Pig was like a real YouTuber. And so I was like, come debate me, Peppa Pig. And I really thought it was a YouTuber because I'm stupid. Thank you, TF Methodist, who says, I love your videos. Cat Black is setting a precedent or accountability is out of the window to protect identity politics. I mean, listen, I think Cat Black is just a wreck. It's like, Cat. And it makes me sad because of the trans community, and when I say community, I'm specifically talking about the activists and sort of the community of us that are YouTubers and influencers and public people or whatever. If we can't come together on this, what can we even come together on, you know? That makes me realize we'll never come together on anything if this can't be the unifying thing. You know what I mean? That should be the thing that we can come together and be like, okay, let's push back together, but apparently not. Thank you, Ketsun, who says, the fact that they sit there and call others out for mundane things and then refuse to call out a dangerous situation is unreal to me. I personally agree. You know, Kat dedicated about 50 tweets last night to this idea that Black people can't be racist, right? I think she's still tweeting about that right now. And it's like, girl, 50 tweets for that and nothing about this? Okay, I see you, Kat. I see you. I see you. Let me put this lash on. I don't have tweezers, so I'm gonna have to put the lash on like with my fingernails, which is hard. I don't even know if I can do it. I bet I can. I don't know if I can. I did it. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Mike, stuck in the middle of Nopeville, who says, okay, so we need to talk? What about? I swear I've never ever sniffed a line of booger sugar in my entire life. Nah, just messing around. Here's some douche. Have a good one. You are funny, sir. Thank you, Jason Tubbs, who says, I love your content. You are actually one of the first trans people I came across when I started my transition. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you. Someone else asked how I'm going to make the presidential meeting happen. I have a few tricks up my sleeve. I have a few avenues which I can go down. And I think it's just about me utilizing the resources I do have and people that I do know to make it happen. And I believe I can make it happen. I'm pretty confident. You guys want to know some tea, some inside tea that you'll never know if I don't tell you right now about Caitlyn Jenner? So Caitlyn told me, and I'm kind of mad at her about this. Caitlyn told me that she had a meeting with Donald Trump a while ago at the very beginning of the presidency. They were going to go golfing, which makes sense. Caitlyn golfs, Trump golfs. But that Caitlyn didn't do it. Caitlyn canceled this golfing trip with the president because she didn't want to seem like she was betraying the trans community. And she was getting so much hate from the trans community because she's a Republican that she felt that it would be bad optics within her community, that it would make them hate her even more. So she canceled that. And I kind of feel like you were, at that point, the only trans person in the world who had an opportunity to sit down with the most powerful person in the world, whether you love him or hate him, and possibly do some good for trans people, right? Be in the room with the most powerful person. And you chose not to do it because of trans people going to hate on you. Trans people were going to hate on her. And for me, I feel like that's a very missed opportunity. I feel like I would like to be that bridge between the right wing and trans people, because the reality is a lot of trans people are right wing. They're just silenced by people on both sides. And I would really like to open up that door, which is why I want to have this meeting with Trump. And why I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. Because someone needs to, whether you hate Trump or not. The only way to make real change, this change that everyone supposedly wants to make happen, is to sit down. The same way that, I didn't see much of an interest, right, in Trump with criminal justice reform and, all these things that Kim Kardashian has put him onto until he had a meeting with her. And I feel like Trump is one of those people that, you really just gotta talk to him. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I have high hopes for what I could accomplish. So that is where I'm headed, you guys. Thank you, Stacia C, who says, it hurts us when no one speaks out about it. I agree. It's like, y'all want the It's Ma'am GameStop person and Jessica Yaniv to be the stereotype and representation of trans people. That's what y'all want, because that's what it is. That's currently the public's perception of who and what we are. And you guys can stay in your bubbles where you're just watching your favorite little liberal trans YouTubers and following only your little liberal commentators who all love trans people. And you think people with negative connotations about trans people are just so far gone that you won't talk to them. But what are you accomplishing by that? By living in this echo chamber with only people who already like trans people and understand trans people, what are you accomplishing? Nothing. Literally nothing. As long as the trans community by and large does not be like, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't go on a rampage and destroy store property and scream at people and threaten to hurt them when they accidentally misgender you. Maybe you shouldn't abuse self-ID laws to prey on children. Until the community is willing to say those types of things, I don't see the public negative perception of trans people changing anytime soon. Because what happens when you stay silent is you let the narrative be controlled by the people clowning us. That's just a fact. Monopoly of discourse is real. If the only people talking about Jessica Yaniv and the danger of self-ID laws and all this type of stuff, if the only people talking about that are people blanket statementing, not a real word, trans people, then we lose. Then we lose. Thank you, Kellen, who says, have you watched Ready to Glaire's video on Yaniv? I have not, but I'm going to. Thank you, Richard, who says, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said that being silent is the same as approval. Interesting. So all these trans people who love AOC, do you agree with her? Do you agree that you being silent about the situation means that you endorse pedophilia? I don't think you would agree. So speak up, bitches. Let me see. Thank you, Kelly, who says, please reach out to Lindsay Shepherd to collab on a charity for the victims. Lindsay has been talking about Jessica Yaniv for the past year. Yes, and I know that Lindsay Shepherd was someone who got banned on social media because of an argument with Jessica Yaniv, which is disgusting. Let me see. Thank you, Let's Drive Somewhere, who says, thank you for being awesome, Blaire. Thank you for being awesome, Let's Drive Somewhere. Thank you, Daniel, who says, thank you, Daniel, who says, the thing about Kat Black is that everything I see her picture, I just think she must have bad breath. I'm gonna not be petty. Let me not be petty, because there is a more important conversation to be had here. You know what I mean? Like, Kat Black did an hour-long live stream in which one of the things she was talking about was how she could just tell that I was going to detransition. And then I'm just, shit that, like, if I said that about someone, the internet would never, ever let me forget it. You know what I mean? Like, never. Kat's an idiot. Thank you, Habente, who says, been a longtime fan. I love your videos. You've always made my crappy days less crappy. Well, that makes me happy. I'm glad. Thank you, That Fox, who says, how does it feel to be labeled transphobic by people for speaking out about JY, like many other trans people have been? It's stupid. You're an idiot if that's what you believe. If calling out pedophilia is transphobic, then I guess I'm transphobic. Shout out to me and my internalized transphobia. Shout out to me and the fact that I am living and thriving as a trans person, but somehow hate being trans. I don't know. It's interesting because someone asked me, if you could have the chance of not being born trans, like, would you just be born a biological woman? And I feel like I would have said yes for the longest time. But now I kind of feel like, I feel like my life is my life for a reason. And I've lived such a rich life and I've had so much just amazing experience and opportunity and just I've met so many different people that, like, I wouldn't have met if I wasn't trans. And I can't imagine my life if I wasn't. So maybe the old insecure me would have said yes, but now I would love my life. I wouldn't change anything about my life. Or maybe a few things. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to be like a millionaire or something. But by and large, I wouldn't change that type of thing. Oh, it's hot. Let me see. Thank you, Ethan, who says, what are your thoughts on Tulsi? I personally, I think Tulsi is the most appealing, at least to me, of the Dems that are running. Does that mean I would vote for her? But that does mean that she is the most appealing. I agree with a lot of what she says. I think her upcoming suit against Google is amazing. Her anti-war sentiments are amazing. But oh my God, she's really contoured, is she? I'm gonna fix it, don't worry. For anyone who doesn't know about makeup and thinks this is like permanent, I'm gonna fix it. So yeah, she is the most appealing currently for me. I am not a Democrat, and so I will not be voting for her. However, she is the most appealing. And I can see why she has appealed to people across party lines. Because she appeals to me across party lines. Thank you, Stephen, who says, just want to say Jacqueline Glenn is a damn hero for saving Eugenia Cooney's life. Yeah, you know, I feel like Eugenia deserved credit as well because Eugenia did stick with recovery, right? But people trying to take it away from Jacqueline as if she didn't play a huge role are wrong in my opinion because Eugenia was on the brink of death. Everyone knew it. Everyone saw it. The brink, like literally, like, did she have a week left? Did she have a month left? Days left? Like, it was that bad. And I don't know Eugenia. I have not met Miss Eugenia. But a few days after the intervention that Jacqueline had, I went shopping with Jacqueline, and Jacqueline showed me, or she played me rather, some voicemails from Eugenia's mom. Now, these voicemails have not been made public. Jacqueline has not made them public. And that's up to Jacqueline if she ever wants to do that. But Eugenia's mom is a psycho bitch, period. Eugenia's mom is directly responsible for keeping Eugenia in her anorexic state. Eugenia's mom was screaming at Jacqueline in a voicemail that Jacqueline is a dumb lesbian cunt or something of the sort. Something about Jacqueline being a lesbian. She's not a lesbian. She's dating a man because of this intervention, right? Jacqueline's mom did not want the intervention to happen. So Jacqueline's mom is directly responsible for keeping her child in that state. Make no mistake. And so I commend Jacqueline for what she did. It was very hard on Jacqueline. Jacqueline for years has been getting hate about Eugenia and about how she's not helping, right? Even I get hate, like before all this, I was even getting hate being like, you're friends with Jacqueline, she's friends with Eugenia, have Jacqueline help, like people hating on me. And I was like, I'm so far removed from this. I don't know Eugenia. You know what I mean? So make no mistake that Eugenia's mom is crazy. I've heard the voicemails. And those voicemails have not been made public. I'm sure they won't be, but I've heard them. And I've heard what Jacqueline had to deal with. No one should have to fight someone's family to get them help. Family should be on board with helping. Anyways, let me keep going. Thank you, Rebecca, who says infant circumcision is a human rights violation. Absolutely. I am personally against circumcision of babies. I think everyone can make the decision for what they want with their body when they're older. But I think that this like automatic assumption that when a baby is born, we have to like mutilate its genitals is wrong. And I say that with also the knowledge that personally I am attracted to circumcised things, right? Like I live in a society where most men have it. And so I personally think it's more attractive. But that doesn't change the fact that I do think, you know, it's questionable in the least that that is just like the standard. Like, I don't know. I'm not really for circumcision either. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Thank you, Stacia, who says, I remember when they were trying to stick pedos in the LGBT. Make no mistake, it is by no means a lot of people who want them to be included in LGBT. It is a very small amount of people, and they are all pedophiles who want that. The LGBT community does not want that. But some people want that. Some people want, you know, MAPs to be in LGBT, which is like minor attracted people, which is automatically a horrific term, which like it like softens the term pedophile. Like you're trying to make it a more politically correct term, like minor attracted person. Like, no, you're a pedophile. We have to keep saying pedophile. So yeah, that's a thing. Am I done with my makeup? I think I'm done. I don't know how much I like it though. I don't know. Let me see. Thank you, Moody Shoot Blanks, who says, not gonna lie, you're beautiful, just shooting. What are you shooting? But thank you. Let me see. Let me see. What happened after you ate meat for the first time in 10 years? Did you get really sick? No, nothing bad happened. I thought that like going back to it would like maybe I'd have some kind of reaction, but like, I really didn't. Thank you, Josephine Hernandez, who says, you're absolutely incredible. I hope your family recognizes your positive influence in the world. You inspire me daily. Love you. I love you too. That's very sweet. As far as my family, you guys know my dad's side of the family disowned me, so I don't have a communication with them. And then my mom's side definitely is supportive of me, but I don't really know how much they know about what I do for a living. Like I know they see some things like on Facebook, like they've seen me in like Penthouse magazine and they've seen like interviews and stuff like that, but I don't know how much they really grasp it, if that makes sense. Thank you, Subtle Rebuttal, who says, thank you for genuinely being yourself. Thank you. That's sweet. Thank you, Miles Swan, who says, Blaire, this super chat is going towards a new mic for you because ow. Okay, here's the thing about my mic, you guys. I know it like blows, like randomly it'll go like really loud. I don't know what the problem is because that happened when I used my internal mic on my laptop, and now it's still happening using this external one. So it must just be my laptop, in which case it probably is time for a new laptop. I've had this one for almost 2 years. Yeah, Joey got me this one for my birthday in 2017. My God, I'm getting old. Ew, that was my 24th birthday. Ew, it's almost my 26th birthday. My birthday is in September. I don't want to be 26. That's a weird number. I like 25 because that's like, I like 25, but 26, girl, I don't know. Let me see. Thank you, Saja, who says, hey, Blaire, I'm a Muslim woman and I love watching your videos. I respect how you speak your mind and you're not afraid to voice your opinion. I agree with so many points you make. Love you so much. Love you too, Saja. Thank you. But do you guys see where I'm coming from? Like, is it crazy to think that I could like meet with the president? I don't think it's crazy. Like, I know people who could get me there, who could get me in the room. I know people. And one thing about me in my entire career is I've never asked anyone for anything. Like I don't ask people really to collab unless you're my friend and I know that you're down. Like I don't ask people to get me to meet this person or get me in this room. Like I'm always scared to do that. But I feel like this would be something that could be so beneficial just for the culture that like I need to just ask. And the worst that could happen is someone says, no, I'm not going to help you. And if that's the case, then whatever, at least I tried. Thank you, Hot Computer Smell, who says, will you be coming to Virginia again in December? I will. I always go and visit Joey's family for Christmas, and I always do a meetup in Virginia because I seem to have so many supporters out there or in the general area that I will be doing another meetup. So stay tuned for that. That will be in December around Christmas time. Let me see. Thank you, David O'Donovan, who says, tweet Mike Pence for an interview. Taking to him and the Christian community can get you in. I'm a Christian and I know Christ like they do. I don't know. For now, I'm not going to be tweeting things and tweeting people. Like I would rather go behind the scenes and message the people that I know could potentially get me in the room. Like I've literally been retweeted by Donald Trump Jr., you guys. Like I feel like I could make this happen. Thank you, Cassie Ann, who says, hey, Blaire, my Twitter is this and I would love a follow back. Thank you, Cassie. I'll follow you right this second. Let me see. Cassia Sanders. Followed. Thank you, Heather, with no message. Thank you, Photographs by Robert, who says, hey, you are awesome. Thank you for talking about the hard topics. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Sydney Yako, who says, hey, Blaire, sending you love from San Francisco. Thank you for once again talking about important topics that no one wants to bring up. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Sydney. Shout out to you in San Fran. I'm thinking about going to San Fran for my birthday, not because I'm like the biggest fan of San Francisco in general or the culture there, but because I have so many nostalgic memories from being a child in San Francisco. Like, San Francisco is basically the LA of Northern California, which is where I grew up. So whenever we were gonna do some like trip to the city, when I was little, it was always to San Francisco. And I just feel like I want to go back there for my birthday. I want to maybe go to Alcatraz with Joey because he's never been. Um, I feel like I want to go. And I feel like I could probably meet some of my hometown friends because it is sort of close to them. Thank you, Skeet, with no message. Thank you, Kexkey, who says, the thing I appreciate most about your views is the attempt to remove the stigma that conservatives have with LGBT people. Well, here's the thing, is like all the way around the relationship between trans people and conservatives is not good on both sides, right? Like I get hate from both sides, right? So when I posted my last video, I got plenty of messages and comments from trans people saying that I'm being transphobic and I'm pandering to conservatives and blah, blah, blah. And then I had conservatives tweeting, not a lot, but some. One of them was a Blaze TV host who I bodied on Twitter, by the way. One of them was a Blaze TV host who was like, why do I keep seeing this conservative trans woman on my timeline? Because there were some articles written about the video and stuff. And the articles were talking about conservative trans woman Blaire White. And so this Blaze TV host is saying, why am I seeing conservative trans women on my timeline? What is this? No wonder the right is losing, which, by the way, the right is not losing. Like, we have a Republican president. Like, what are you talking about? So I get it from both sides, right? And so honestly, like I feel that my purpose is bridging that gap, making LGBT people understand that they do not have to be liberal to be LGBT and that they're allowed to have their own opinion because a lot of them feel as if they can't state their own opinions if it's not perfectly liberal or radically left, right? And then the twofold part of honestly my purpose and what I hope to accomplish just with my career is that conservatives also realize that we can be great allies as well. And that transgender in particular is not some invention of radical leftism, which is the perception among many on the right. I want to help to dispel that. I really, really do. And meeting with Trump and figuring this whole mess out, I think would be a good way to do it. And I believe I can do it. So we're getting there, people. We're getting there, people. Thank you, Grant, who says, love your content, but did Jeremy ever get his vodka back? People keep tweeting me about the quartering and how I supposedly stole his vodka at MythCon. That, to me, is not how I remember the story. I remember being backstage before I went on stage to do my panel, and I was like, I need a bottle of vodka. Like, I'm nervous. Like, my panelists are nervous. Like, I need vodka. Because MythCon is big. There was like 500 people in the audience, and that was my first speaking event ever, by the way. And I was like, I need a bottle of vodka. So I sent Joey to get a bottle of vodka. He went to the store and then he came back. I thought he got that from the store. I didn't know that was from the quartering. I don't know. Thank you, Samantha, who says, thank you for showing mainstream society that not all trans people are SJWs and crazies, and some of us are right wing. Can you follow my Instagram? Of course I can follow you, and thank you. That's all I want to do, honestly. For real. And to everyone who has this issue, how can you be trans and right wing? It's going against your own interests. In my opinion, the only way to change anything, right? Like, I am under no misconception or delusion that the right wing has been historically this huge ally of trans people. I think anyone who says that is an idiot. However, I feel like the only way to change things is to do it from the inside. And I'm not going to compromise my conservative values and like just because I'm trans. If anything, I'm going to reconcile both and just live my life. You know what I mean? Thank you, Jonathan, who says, totally off topic, but I want to know your general thoughts on Kim Petras and your favorite songs if you listen to her. I love Kim Petras, big fan of her music. My favorite song right now is Do Me. And I like all her songs, really. Thank you, Cole Mons, who says, stay cute, little bandicoot. Thank you, Cole. Thank you, Saja, again, who says, thank you for calling out Yaniv, that as a horrible human being and as an older cousin and big sister, it breaks my heart that this person is still preying on young people. Love you, Blaire. Yeah, it is upsetting. But I believe that this person will get put away. I feel like this person is a ticking time bomb, and they're gonna step in it to an extent. They're gonna go far enough that they get in trouble. And I hope that moment of being far enough is not actually violating someone. Hopefully, it's like evidence that they're trying to violate. Ideally, I would hope that Yaniv goes too far again, right? Expresses direct intent on harming a child in messages and is then arrested, like To Catch a Predator style. I hope that's what happens. I hope that the breaking point isn't Yaniv actually harming someone. And I hope Yaniv hasn't harmed anyone yet. I hope it's all just creepiness so far. I really would love to hope that it's not, you know. But then again, victims will come forward, so. Thank you, M. Victor, who says, the whole Black people can't be racist saying is constantly tap dancing on my last nerve and needs to die. I agree. Can we rant about that? Anyone who has ever left their house and interacted with like anyone in the like anyone ever knows anyone can be racist. Like I grew up in Northern California where there is not a lot of Asian people. Well, there is like in the Bay Area, but northern, not really where I'm from. I grew up in a town that was mostly Hispanic and white. The Hispanic people where I grew up were so racist against Black people, like so racist. I remember that very clearly. The white people where I grew up, a lot of them were very racist against Hispanic people. Like anyone can be racist. The idea that like you're not racist if you're Black or you're not racist if you're Hispanic. Have you met anyone ever that's racist? Because they're not always white, period. Maybe your problem is you're ignoring racists of other races just to fit this narrative that only white people can be racist, but it's not the case. It's not the case. You know who else? Like, there also is a lot of like Asian on Asian racism. I guess that's more cultural, but like a lot of like, if you've been to San Francisco, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of infighting within Asian cultures too. Thank you, Otto, who says, do you know Count Dankula from his Discord? No, I do not know him, but I will be doing a panel with him at Minds IRL, the event at the end of August. So I will be meeting him, and the first time I meet him, we'll be doing a live event with him. So that'd be cool. Thank you, Ollie, who says, talking to Trump could really change people's perspectives. Trans people believe a lot of things about Trump that are false, and representatives about trans people. I would say that there is a severe lack of communication. What is that noise? What's that noise? Is my laptop messing up? Okay, anyways, there's a severe lack of communication between trans people and the conservative right, and we got to open up that window. So I agree. I think it would be beneficial for the culture to have the conversation. Let's see. Thank you, Autumn Wolf, who says, hey, I'm a liberal, but I love to watch your videos. Thank you, Autumn. I honestly have a lot of liberals who watch me. So thank you, Plum, who says, hey, Blaire, I've been watching you for a while. You're so beautiful. I love you. By the way, my Twitter is this. Thank you. I'm going to follow you right now. Joey, if you're watching, can you text me where you are? Shouldn't you be home by now? Filbert Iska. There you are. Okay, followed. Yeah, why isn't Joey home yet? Period. Let's see. Thank you, Zuza, who says, what do you think the LGBT community should do to unite together, as right now it's a mess? I'm bi, but I'm engaged to a guy, so I get people saying that I'm not. Yeah, that's the other thing is a lot of people within the LGBT community like try to erase bi people and act like it's not real. I've met bi people. I mean, honestly, they're a little more rare than just like gay people, but like they're real. I don't know. I would have thought that something we could unify over is this Jessica Yaniv situation, but I guess not. So I don't know. Ori Main, who says, actually, there have been tweets going viral from feminists who think white people who own dogs are just trying to be slave owners. I know, that like was so stupid. That and like people criticizing white dogs, like that's sick. Interview request. Who's trying to interview me? One sec, I have a business email. Oh, it's like a live stream. Let me see. Thanks, Kristen, who says, what do you think of InfoWars? I treat InfoWars as entertainment more than anything. I don't go to InfoWars for knowledge per se. And I enjoyed Alex Jones's interview with Jessica Yaniv. I thought that was very interesting. Thank you, Ron, who says, thank you for changing views on trans people in politics. Thank you. Thanks, Miles, who says, hey, Blaire, meeting Trump would be a great idea. It will definitely bring a perspective. I think Trump has opened the Republican Party to many people. I agree, you know, like the way I think that Trump views trans people is, first of all, not really on his radar so much, right? Like doesn't care that much. I think there's a lot of people around him though, who treat the trans issue as a political football, as most people do, right? And that's what I reject, is using trans people and the trans topic as a political football on both sides, because I don't think being trans should be politicized. And so I think just being able to be in his ear and kind of just a brief conversation, a brief shake of the hand, being like, you know, this isn't a political thing. Like I'm trans and I'm here and hello. And like, I think that would literally change a lot. Maybe I'm stupid for thinking that, but I really think it would change a lot. And I'm gonna make it happen. Thanks, X Roses, who says you're bridging gaps. Thank you, X Roses. Thank you, Scarlett, who says seeing you and Anthony argue on Twitter was just confusing. I love you and Anthony, but I didn't see why he was arguing against your points. I don't know. Anthony is weird. Anthony used to be very nice to me and would message me and like be super supportive. And then randomly one day he unfollowed me. He unfollowed me, She Went Ahead, some black guy, Chris Reagan, everyone like in one fell swoop one day. And then now like attacks all of us. And I was like, if you're going to attack me, you're choosing where I'm calling a pedophile out to attack me. That's the first thing. The second thing is Anthony Fantino started tweeting me being like, as if I don't understand. He's like, okay, but trans public influencers go through a lot and they get a lot of hate and you shouldn't expect them to speak up. And it's hard being a public trans person. And I'm like, why is Anthony Fantino trying to explain to me the plight of being a trans public person as if I don't know? Like, why is Anthony Fantino explaining to me what it is like to be public on the internet and trans as if I don't freaking know? So Anthony Fantino is weird. Like, he wanted to do this weird disassociation thing with like a bunch of like right wing and like skeptic community people, which that's a thing of the past anyways. But like, let's not pretend like there's not pictures of Anthony Fantino with literally Andy Worski in a limo at VidCon 2017. Okay. Like, that was a bad decision. I didn't really understand Anthony Fantino coming at me like that. Like, that was really annoying to me. And I didn't need his education on being a public trans person because I'm a public trans person. Anyways. Thank you, David, who says, Sup, Blaire, I contacted the Canadian police on that pedophile that you made a video on. Thank you for making that video. God bless you. Love and prayers. Good. I feel like police need to be involved in this in some way. And thank you. Thank you, Funeral Man, who says, Blaire, I'm a conservative who was fairly closed-minded a long time ago, and after watching you for a couple years, I believe I've grown as a person. Thank you for putting yourself and ideas out there. Thank you, Funeral. That's like literally the purpose of all of this. So that means a lot. And that gives me a lot of validation that you said that. So thank you. Thank you, Zero the Hero, who says, follow my Twitter. By the way, you won the debate on Vice. Thank you. I'm going to follow you right now. Yeah, I'm glad I did the Vice thing. Funny story is the same day of the Vice thing, which filmed in New York, you guys, I was scheduled to do a red carpet for a TV show that was coming out. It was the release party for this TV show. It was a red carpet, and I would have gotten paid $2,000 to post an Instagram about the show, saying it was going to premiere soon. So it was a sponsorship and a red carpet opportunity. And the Vice thing didn't pay me. So before I did the Vice panel, I was weighing it. I was like, do I take the money and the red carpet opportunity, or do I go do this Vice thing? Because I know that like my supporters are going to freaking love the Vice thing. I was like, I gotta do the Vice thing. So I lost out on a cute little check and a fun time and a party, but overall, I'm so glad that I did the Vice thing, because I think you guys care a little more about debates than like fucking stupid red carpets. Let me see. Thank you, Brian Ford, who says, damn, way to shade my home state, but I still love you. It's no shade to Ohio. I just personally was not thoroughly impressed with Ohio, but you know, I haven't been to like Cleveland though, and I've heard Cleveland's pretty cool. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Thank you, Kakski, who says, I'm a liberal and I love your content, and the way you present your views has broadened my perspective on certain politics. Wishing for your success. Thank you, Kakski. I appreciate that. Type L in the chat if you're a liberal. Type C in the chat if you're conservative. Or type X if you are other. Because people think it's only conservatives following me, and it's really not the case, honey. So C for conservative in the chat, L for liberal, X for other. Let me see. Thank you, Jake H with no message. Thank you, Jared. Hi, Jared, who says, would you ever do a collab with your mom? I personally like to keep my family as private as possible. I signed up to be public in the way that I am, but my family didn't. So I wouldn't ever want to, just the way it has gone in the past for me in terms of people trying to dox me and coming after me and finding where I live and just all the craziness that goes along with doing politics online. I wouldn't like welcome my mom into that. So I don't think so. I did post a picture with her one time on my Snapchat, but I don't think I'd go any further than that. Thank you, Hot Computer Smell, who says, the debate with Vice was cringe. The host was biased. The host was most definitely biased, and I think the host realized that and felt kind of bad, because after we were done filming, the host came up to me and was very, very nice, much nicer than on camera. So I think she kind of realized that she might have fumbled a little bit with the bias, but I don't care. I'm used to being in rooms with biases against my views, and I'm used to defending them, so I don't care. Thank you, Candy Lee, with no message, but love you all the same. Thank you, Anna Rex, who says, hello, Blaire. Can you follow my Instagram? No, just kidding. Of course I can. You also said, thank you for being an icon. Thank you for calling me an icon. That's kind of a big adjective, or title, I should say. Kira Ita.t and followed. Thank you, Maddie H, who says, have you heard of Daisy Cousins? She's from Australia and will be at mine as well. I think you'll love her. I have not heard of her, but I'm sure I'll meet her doing the event. Who else is coming? You guys, so I definitely want to do a little promotion here for Minds IRL, which is the conference I'm doing at the end of August, next month. It's in New Jersey. It's going to be a huge event. The speakers are off the chain. There's so many people coming. Shoe on Head, Count Dankula, Armored Skeptic, Tim Pool, Andy Go, or Andy Ingo. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Sargon. Just a lot of people that I know you guys really like. I personally wish there were more liberals there. That's my only criticism of this event that I'm going to. I wish there was more and that it wasn't as biased. However, it's going to be a great event. There's going to be a lot of panels. I'm on one personally with Armored Skeptic and Count Dankula. I'm going to be meeting everyone. last year it was really fun. There was like 500 people there. It was like a huge auditorium, and definitely check it out. It's called Minds IRL if you're in New Jersey or willing to travel. Thank you, Cecilia, with no message. Thank you, Lemongrass, who says, hey, Blaire, I'm a trans guy and I'm starting blockers soon. Wish me luck. Shout out to you and good luck. And I think you'll find that it works out for you. Thank you, Quamax, who says, hey, Blaire, how are you? I'm pretty good. It's really hot in here. But I'm having a good day overall. Thank you, Regalian, who says, I'm Black. Anyone can be racist. I agree. Like, this idea that, like, you can't be racist if you're of a certain race is, first of all, racist. And second of all, it's like, anyone who says that, I'm fully convinced they've, like, never left their house or talked to real people. Because when you go through life and you meet people of all different races, what you realize is, like, people have these biases and these prejudices and these views about people. Like, it doesn't matter what race you are. It's possible to be racist. Like, I've met racist Mexicans, I've met racist Black people, I've met racist Asians, met racist white people. That is part of the human condition, is judging people in different tribes than you. That is, as long as humanity has existed, we have been that way. And it's something that we are currently trying to move past, and that we have made great strides in moving past, right? But it does exist, and it's not just white people. Like, hello. Thank you, Koala, who says there's too much hate in the LGBT community. Bring the love. I agree. Thank you, Israel, who says you're my favorite YouTuber aside from Shane. That is still a really huge compliment. Shane is pretty much my favorite YouTuber as well. So I don't judge you for having him above me. Love Shane. Let me find you. I'm not finding you on Twitter. LLER. I think you might have typoed your screen name because I'm not seeing you. Thank you, Val, who says, I love you, Blaire. I'm center left, and you were one of my first political role models when I was waking up from SJWs, progressives, leftists, and extremists. And you gave me your Instagram. Well, thank you. I'm glad I could benefit you in your political journey in some way. Let me follow you right now. Made Valiant. And by the way, for those of you who are maybe new to my live streams and wondering why the hell I've been going on for so long, is because those of you who are, you know, in my live streams quite often, we're family. So you know that these go on for hours. These are not, hey, I'm checking in for 5 minutes and dipping. This is like 3 hours long. So shout out to everyone who is still hanging in at, what are we? An hour and 20 minutes in. We have about an hour and a half left to go, because you guys know. You guys know. Let me retweet the tweet for the live so that people can come in. More people. Let's see. Retweet. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Starlord's Coffee with no message. Thank you, Miss Nihilist, who says, hey, Blaire, my Instagram is this. Love you so much. Watching you really helped me feel like I had a place being trans and not liberal. Thank you. I mean, that's the thing, you guys, is like, I saw a study today showing that trans people are actually the least liberal of all the LGBT community. And that makes perfect sense to me, because if you really think about it, more so than a lot of the other identities that fall under LGBT, trans people, like actual trans people here, they prioritize assimilation and blending into society. We are very much about just being normal. We go through our transitions because we just want to blend in. And oftentimes we have a little more traditional views on gender roles and stuff. Like, a lot of trans women very much assimilate to traditional female gender roles, trans men as well. That's the same can't be said for some other identities like non-binary, genderqueer, gender fluid, all those, which they tend to more so want to dismantle the idea of gender. But for the most part, transsexual people like actually are the least liberal of all in the LGBT community, which makes sense to me. That doesn't mean we're mostly conservative, don't get me wrong, but it means the least liberal of LGBT. Let's see. Thank you, Lissy Fuentes, who says, thank you for all you've done this past week. Keep being awesome. I hope that dude gets arrested. If you want my Instagram, here it is. Thank you. That's very generous of you, and I'm going to follow you, and shout out to you. Sure. Followed. Thank you. Thank you, the 44 Buzzkill, who says, love from Sweden. Showed you to my 2 trans friends, and both were kind of shocked that they didn't have to be left-wingers to be trans. You don't have to be. Like, it is such a misnomer. It really is. And I'm not sitting here saying you should be conservative or Republican when you're trans. Absolutely not. I'm not here to tell you how to think. I'm here to tell you how I think, you know? But I do think as well that this idea that we have to be liberals, that we have to be progressive, I threw my hairbrush, that we have to be those things is harmful, and it takes away our agency. And yeah, you get it. Thank you, Otto, who says, I might have missed this, but do you like Count Dankula? I really don't know much about him. I have nothing against him. And like I said, I will be meeting him when I do my panel at Minds IRL next month. So check back in with me after I meet him. Maybe I'll be like, I hate him. I'm sure I won't. Let me see. Thank you, Catherine, who says, love your videos. Hope you're having a good day. I am having an amazing day. I'm having a great day. Love you. Thank you, Kayla, who says, looking beautiful as always. Blaire, love you. Thank you, Kayla. Love you too. Thank you, Riley, who says, love you so much. Thank you for being awesome. Love you too, Riley. Y'all are so sweet. Here's the thing. I have a hair on my lip gloss. Here's the thing is I always just get happy after I live stream, because like YouTube videos are one thing, and I appreciate everyone who comments nice things on my YouTube video, but like there's something special about being live and like really just talking to you guys in real time. Thank you, Goofball, who says, Blaire, your videos have helped me feel more comfortable being a conservative Hispanic woman. I'm glad I met you at the LA Walkaway event. I barely got out a hello, but no, I love you. Aw, that's really sweet. And I'm glad I met you too. And just kind of on the point of you like barely getting out a hello, I hope everyone that does come to these events that I throw realizes that like you don't have to be shy. If anything, I'm probably going to be a little more shy than you. Someone yelling outside. Yeah, don't be shy. Thank you, The Raw Truth, who says, been watching since day one. I have a glass straw business. I make custom straws. Can I make you a blinged out custom Blaire white one? Do you have a P.O. box? Love you. Oh my God, please do. Raw Truth, you have no idea how much I would appreciate you making me a custom Blaire white straw. Literally, I live in LA. Every restaurant in LA, they have these paper straws now. And they're awful. It dissolves in your drink. You're basically drinking paper. It really is awful. So if you make me a custom straw, I will love you forever. Please email me. I don't have a P.O. box, but I will give you my address. I don't care. Don't kill me. Please email me and I will hit you up about that. That's amazing. Thank you, Hippie Cowboy, who says, I'm new here. Love your message and love you. Hey, Hippie Cowboy. Shout out to you being new and welcome. Love you too. Thank you, the Ruben Flyer, who says, please come to Portugal or the UK. We love you. You got to book me. You got to book me. I want to go. Talk to your colleges, talk to your venues, talk to your groups. Book me and I'll come. Thank you, Katie Amber, who says, what are your thoughts on pedos that repress their feelings? I personally feel that, because there is that whole argument of like, there are some pedophiles who don't offend and they won't offend, they don't want to offend. And that's all fine and good. But I feel like if you realize you have that affliction, you should probably opt for self-castration. You should probably opt to ensure beyond just your word and expecting us to take your word for it that you will not harm children. You should take it upon yourself to self-castrate. That is my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. I would feel more comfortable with that. Thank you, Ori Main, who says, Onision apologized to Shane. Listen, I don't give a shit about what Onision is doing, not doing, will do, or won't do. I really do not care. I think he is disgusting, and I think what he's been doing with the Eugenia and the Shane and the Jacqueline, like, ew. Okay, ew. Don't care. And that's no shade to you. I don't like Onision. Fresh. Thank you, Kikia Mart, who says, have you talked to Susanna Mraz lately? I don't know who that is, so no. I haven't talked to this person, I don't know. Let's see. Pre Shaw says, wait, Susanna, wasn't that, maybe I do know. That sounds really I don't know. I'll try to think about it. Thank you, Pre Shaw, who says, do you have an opinion on autogonophilia? Is that how you pronounce it? Autogonophilia? Autogonophilia is basically men who have a fetish about being a woman. So like a cross-dresser or someone who even goes as far to transition because they have a fetish. And that to me is very creepy. Ew. You know what I'm saying? Ew. So there's that. I don't have much of an opinion beyond that though. Let's see. Thank you, Shy Bun, who says, love you so much, Blaire. I was wondering, do you take YouTube as a job, a hobby, or just venting, or something else? Definitely all of the above. I'm so blessed that I have made YouTube my job. And it's funny to say YouTube as my job because really social media, it's part of my job, right? So my job is YouTube, social media in general, speaking events, the mainstream media I get to do sometimes. It's not a lot, but it's some. So it's really all those things in one. So YouTube is just one piece of the puzzle, granted a very important piece. YouTube, my biggest audience is on YouTube, but it's one piece of the puzzle. But it also is in many ways a hobby. I mean, there's a lot of creativity that goes into it. And it's also for venting because I get to come on here and like talk and you guys listen and we have conversations. So it is venting. Thank you, Brian Wright, who says, hey, Blaire, I love your live streams. What areas in California do you recommend to visit? I visited San Diego a few years ago and it was beautiful. Thank you for being so generous, Brian. Places in California I recommend visiting. LA for sure. You know, like people talk bad about LA and I have my gripes with LA and the way the city is run, but you'd be missing out if you've never in your life been to LA and seen Hollywood and seen the Hollywood sign and seen LA in general. So LA, I would recommend visiting for sure. West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, like you should see it. You don't have to live here or like it very much, but you should see it. I would recommend visiting like Pacifica is a really pretty town. Pacifica is this town in California. It's like on the beach. It's near San Francisco, and all the houses are colorful. Like you drive through, and it's like a pink house, a blue house, a yellow house, a green house, a red house, a purple house. Like I'm not even kidding. It's like it's out of a storybook. There's like a really cool like Taco Bell that's on the beach. Like so, it sounds weird, but I like Pacifica. San Diego's beautiful. Yeah, those places. Thank you, Max, who says you're one of the best YouTubers. Thank you. Thank you, Feature Myself, who says, hi, Blaire, great to see you again. Would you consider making a video on extreme anti-LGBT stuff happening in Eastern Europe, countries like Poland? I am considering making one specifically on Russia. I am considering that, yes. Thank you, Kitten, who says, I'm far left for Williamson. Hubby is mid-right for Tulsi. We both love you. Aw. And you're from Central Indiana, and you gave me your Twitters, so I'll follow both of you. Let's see, Pretty Beastie. How do you guys, I'd be interested to know how my audience feels about Tulsi. Put in the chat. I'd be interested to know. Also, would you guys be interested in me playing games live? Because I've asked you guys before, but I've been playing Pokemon lately. I've been playing Heart Gold. I want to start a new file and like play through the whole thing with you guys. Snake Eyes 388. Let's see. It says user not found. I think the second Twitter you gave me is a typo. Thank you, LL. It says, I love these live streams. The longer, the better. On bad days, your live streams make you feel less lonely. Aw. Well, I love doing them too. And like I said, we're family if you come in these live streams. And you guys know they go on forever. She is long-winded, so. Do you guys care if I call Joey really quick? He should be home by now, and he's not. Let me call. Thank you, Danny S. with no message. Thank you, Caleb, who says, who's the person you want to collaborate with the most? I don't know. No one right now, really. Joey's not answering.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
So what is the truth? Let me text Woody if he's heard from Joey. Have you heard from Joey, like when he's coming home? Oh, Joey?
No, it's me. I'll be right back.
Oh, have you heard from him?
Yeah, he's like 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes? Okay. I'm weird. Okay, anyways. Thank you, Morgan, who says, bring your common sense debating skills to the UK. Book me and I'll come. Thank you, JTW Geek, who says, when are you and Tim Pool going to collab? I don't know. I know he'll be at Mines next month, so maybe I should sneak in a collab. I am doing a collab with Shoe on Head next month when we're both in New Jersey. So keep an eye out for that, you guys. Thank you, Brew, who says, love you, Blaire. What are your thoughts on the debate with Vosh from a couple weeks back? Also, here's my Instagram. I thought it was frustrating. I felt like it was annoying. You kept calling me a liar for no reason. Also, yeah, that's about it. I thought it was more so annoying. Manatees, my man. Vosh is kind of like another Anthony Fantano of like these like just like liberal guys telling me that I'm being transphobic and that I'm not advocating for trans people properly. It's like, not that you can't have an opinion, because anyone has an opinion on anything. But like, stay in your lane a little bit. Let's see. But I mean, I'm cordial with everyone. Thank you, Miles Swan, who says, you and your mom look like twins. You know, I never really thought that until I posted that picture and every response was like, y'all are twins. I didn't really think so, but I guess we do look alike. Thank you, Billy Eyelash, who says, the SJWs mad about your last video are gross. I agree. I don't understand what you can be mad about. Amani Ford. And followed. Bella, why are you crying? Don't cry. Come here, baby. Thank you, Serial Killer with no message. Thank you, Sammy, who says, what's your stance on finding long-term solutions to ongoing problems other than constantly handing things to people? Example, businesses constantly paying children's lunch debts. You know, children's lunches are one thing. I don't want to live in a world where children go to school and don't have money for lunches, right? But in terms of handouts versus working for what you have, I will say that in the first part of my life, up until 1920, I was receiving a lot of handouts as far as my family helping me with rent and helping me do this and that, and everything was on my family's dime, right? Not that they're rich, because they're not at all. It wasn't until I started to really work for myself and get things for myself that I became a strong person, a self-sustaining person, and someone with economic longevity, right? So I believe in that. I believe in that. Thank you, Polaris589, who says, Hannah of the Honey Badgers lives in Ohio. That state has that going for it. And yes, I do remember the Honey Badgers. I was on their podcast a long time ago. Thank you, Avery Lee with no message. Thank you, Saja, who says, I'm a Muslim woman and I love watching your videos. So that says a lot, I feel. It does. I mean, I am critical personally of Islam because Islam is very critical of me. But that doesn't mean that I have an issue with Muslims, right? So shout out to you. Thank you, David O'Donovan, who says C. C right back. Okay, let me refresh. I wanna be bad. Thank you, Rachel Peters, who says, hey, Blaire, would you ever come to speak at the University of New Hampshire? Absolutely. If I'm booked, for sure. So maybe talk to your Republican groups there or just whatever groups in general. And if I'm booked, I will most definitely come. I hate my hair right now, by the way. I hate like everything about how I look right now. Like it's just so hot and I'm melting and my hair looks like shit. And I feel like my makeup does not look good. It did not come out right. I feel a way about it. Thank you, Jody, who says, I love Pacifica. Blaire, I just want to thank you for being you. Living in the Bay Area and having right-leaning views is difficult, but you inspire me. That's true. The Bay Area is so left, like so left. What's interesting is that Northern California is actually quite red, but then once you get to the Bay Area, it's very, very blue. And then like Orange County is red, and then further down it's blue. Thank you, Forget Milk Not, who says, I follow both you and Kat. It's interesting to look at how different your views are from each other. I definitely agree with you about Yaniv. Also, I love you much more, but don't tell Kat. I mean, listen, I think it's fine to like us both. You know what I mean? Shout out to you for being open-minded. Thank you, Kexki, who says, as a fellow Californian, I would recommend visiting Monterey Bay. I'm from Oakland, which you referred to as ghetto in an old video. I hate San Francisco and LA. I did, but I mean, let's just keep it real. Shout out to Oakland, but a lot of parts of Oakland are scary. Like there is a nice part of Oakland, but it's like 2 feet over is really bad part. Like I had a friend who lived in Oakland and he lived with his boyfriend and his boyfriend had money and lived in a really nice place, like really nice place. And I would go and visit and we'd stay there. And it's like that street was really nice, but then you walk one street over and it's like, are we going to get shot for walking here? And I don't scare easily. Like I live in LA, you know what I mean? But Oakland has some scary parts for sure. Thank you, Kikia Martin, who says you did a stream with Zuzana 2 years after some Twitter. Trans from Poland. She dropped off social media. I do remember her actually. So she's not on social media anymore? That's interesting. Does anyone know what's up with Zuzana, the old Republican, not old as an age, but like from back in the day, the Republican trans YouTuber? I just remember, as with like every other trans YouTuber, she made like a few videos saying how much she loved me. Like she had a video called like Why I Love Blaire White. And then within a few months, she was like hating me because that's like how it goes with like other trans YouTubers, but whatever. Speaking of trans YouTubers, do you guys see Gigi's wedding video? Gigi Gorgeous? I thought it was really cute. Thank you, Pink Portrait, who says, do you watch PewDiePie? I would die if you ever hosted a meme review. Can't wait till you come to New Jersey. Only thing I have to look forward to. I can't wait for New Jersey either. It's gonna be so it's gonna be so awesome, and I can't wait to meet you. Do I watch PewDiePie? I do occasionally. I don't watch every video. I definitely don't, but I do watch sometimes. Thank you, Holiday, who says, hey, Blaire, what are your thoughts on Andy Worski's meltdown over the last few months? He seems to have ignited much hate towards him and left YouTube. Listen, I don't know what Andy Worski's problem is. I don't know if it's mental illness. I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know if it's both. All I know is I wish the best for him, despite the fact that he made a video that was incredibly hateful towards me for no reason, like literally no reason. I wish the best for him, sincerely.
Oh.
Let's see.
Is Joey not here yet?
No.
I saw him pull in.
You saw him pull in?
Yeah.
Ew, what's wrong with him?
He's parking.
Let's see. Thank you, Brian Ford, who says, do you ever think you'll run for political office?
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Do I ever think I'd run for office? Yeah, I think so. It's something I think about more and more the older I get. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Thank you, BBG, who says, hi, Blaire. I love you so much. Here's my Instagram. Bella, shut up. Let me follow you. And I love you too, by the way. Ange3L5. Followed. Thank you, Olux85 with no message. Thank you, Golden Vice, who says, I love you, Blaire. Love Goldie. Shout out to you. I have an aunt whose name is Goldie, and she's dead. She died before I was born. I don't know why that came out of my psyche and why that came out of my mouth. I hope you live a long life, Goldie. Rest in peace, Goldie. Aunt Goldie. Thank you, Mepity, who says, hi, Blaire. I'm an artist on YouTube and Instagram, and I'd love to draw you at some point. Please do. I love whenever you guys draw me. I think it's the biggest compliment of life. So definitely make sure you tag me in it if you do so I can see it, okay? And I'm going to follow you right now on Instagram. But you're not following me, so follow me back. Let's see. Thank you, Alden, who says, you helped me understand conservative views so much. Thank you, Alden. I'm glad I did. Fresh. Bella, what are you doing? You're doing too much. Let's see. Thank you, Aiden, again, who says, what are your thoughts on Trudeau? I don't pay a ton of attention to Canadian politics, but if I was in Canada, he wouldn't ever have gotten my vote. I can say that. Thank you, Sierra, who says, you're my role model. I love you. Thank you, Sierra. Let me follow you right now. Sierra_Hudspeth. What did Joey say when you talked to him? Woody? Thank you, Chaos Eve, who says, hey, I'm a trans YouTuber and I don't hate you. Love you. Love you too, Chaos. Wish you were coming to mine next month. Thank you, David O. Donovan, who says the C was for your conservative call out in the chat. Oh, okay, my bad. When I said type C if you're this, okay. Love and prayers from the Republic of Ireland. Love you too. Joey's home if you can't hear. Thank you, Jay Scott, who says, Blaire, you're awesome and I'm glad to see you're doing well. Would you rather never know when you have to pee or always feel like you have to pee? I would always, neither. Hi.
Hi, sorry.
You want to come say hi?
Yeah,
Don't let her bark, please.
The what?
Don't let her bark.
Bella?
Hey, Bella.
Say hi.
Hey guys.
Okay. Anyways.
That's enough of that.
I
Okay,
missed you.
that's enough. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, bye. We're gonna go to the
Bye-bye.
pool. Bye.
Have fun. Let's see. Thank you, Matthew Paul, who says, hope I haven't missed the good tea yet. There's always tea to be spilled, so I don't think you've missed it. I'm sure there'll be more. Let's see. Thank you, Sebi KXS, who says, hi, Blaire. Love how honest you are. Much love. Much love to you, too. Thank you, Amir Kitten, who says, hi, Blaire. When are you going to write a book? You know it would be a bestseller. Love you. Secrets. Secrets is what I'm going to say. Stay tuned. Because something of the sort might be in the works right now. But I didn't say that. Thank you, Matthew Paul, who says, I haven't watched Worski since he made the 50-minute video about Francesca Ramsey. What is he doing? Is he shaving his hair off and running down the street naked, hitting SUVs with an umbrella? No, even more dangerous. I think he pulled a gun on someone. So worse than an umbrella, I think he pulled a gun on someone. That's what I saw. But again, all the best, because I feel like he's struggling and I don't want to make fun of him, even though he's been very, very nasty to me for no reason. All the best. Thanks, Nikki, who says this live has made my day. Thanks, Nikki. I'm going to follow you right now. Nikki_EJ. Followed. Thank you, Stevie Davis, who says thank you for actually helping people. Thank you, Stevie. It's so hot. Let me refresh the like big chat now. Ew, why is the quality so bad on the live stream? Is this what everyone is experiencing? Has it been this, or is it just my laptop? Do I look pixely as hell? Because I look pixely as hell on my screen. Thanks, Pablo S, who says, Blaire, please do Twitch. Would love to play Smash Bros or MK with you. I'm thinking about really doing Twitch. It's pixely for you guys too. You know what it is? It's probably Joey's ass came in connecting to the Wi-Fi on all kinds of stuff. Joey! Joey! Of course he can't hear me. I'm so annoyed. Oh my God. Joey! Yes! Yes! Can you disconnect your Wi-Fi or something? Because it's so pixely and it looks like shit now for everyone.
Oh, okay, shit, sorry, baby.
Just disconnect everything from the internet.
Okay.
Fucking looking like dial up in this bitch. Like, really? Thank you, Matthew Paul, because I wish Worski the best on his recovery. Yes, and if and when he recovers, I will do a Shane Dawson style video talking about the return of Andy Worski. I feel like it's still pixely and it's quite upsetting to me and my sensibilities. Is it not fixing? This is upsetting. What do you guys suggest? What should I do to fix this? Because this is upsetting to me. It's getting better slowly. It's getting better. Okay, it's getting better. Back on topic, people. Oh shit, that's crazy. One thing about me, you guys, I don't ever look at views on my videos when I upload, like literally ever. And I just saw it on recommended on accident. And my last video has 759,000 views. That's actually kind of crazy. I did not expect that many views. I thought it maybe had like 200,000. Wow. Thank you, Michelle Renee, who says, love you. Please come to Atlanta sometime. I would love to go to Atlanta. Funny story, you guys know that I almost did the TV show The Real World this year, which did film in Atlanta. So I almost went to Atlanta. But thanks, A Little Not Right, who says sharing bandwidth is true love. Yeah, it must have been Joey coming in the house and connecting to the Wi-Fi. Thank you, Malowski, who says, I wish I could do my makeup as pretty as yours. I don't feel like I do my makeup very pretty. Honestly. You probably do it better than me. I'm not that good at makeup. I really am not. Thank you, Keksky, who says, do you think Jacqueline Glenn and Shoe on Head both look like Colleen Bollinger / Miranda Sings? They kind of do, actually. Low-key, they kind of do. Thank you, Anne, who says, I'm glad you have a platform like this because people need to know that other opinions exist besides SJWs. Love you. Love you too. Someone else asked, how do I deal with being bullied in school? People are hitting me.
Sorry.
Wow. People are hitting you. I'm about to say something that is not politically correct. And I'm going to retweet my last tweet really quick, and then I'm going to say it. If people in school are bullying you to the point where you are being assaulted, you need to learn how to fight. Period. You guys know, I've talked about it a few times. I was bullied heavily in school, in high school, all those, and I had to fight. Like, I was such a scrapper as a kid because you can't just walk around putting your hands on people. And a lot of people really underestimate how traumatizing it is to be a kid who has people put hands on them. It is not any less damaging when you are a kid having other kids put their hands on you than it is an adult putting hands on you. No one has the right to put their hands on you. You need to learn taekwondo self-defense classes. If you don't have the money or your parents won't take you, go on YouTube. Just as easily as you can watch me live, you can watch a YouTube video teaching you how to defend yourself. You need to fight. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing about it. When I was in high school, I went to high school for about 3 days before I was kicked out of school, right? And violence is never the answer, but sometimes it is. Because listen, my first 3 days of high school were hell because people thought that they could put their hands on me and they could start stuff with me, but I always finished it. I always fought back. And once you fight back, other people will realize that they cannot mess with you. It tells other people around your bully that they can't bully you either. And it just gives you this confidence when you know how to defend yourself that like you just need to learn how to fight, okay? Just please learn how to fight. And I'm sorry people putting their hands on you. I really am. I wish I could go to the school and beat people up for you. Thank you, Valkyrie Senpai. Thank you, Anne, who says, I'm glad you have a platform like this because people need to know that other opinions exist besides, oh, I read that one already. My bad. You know what I mean? Y'all want to hear a story? Is it story time? It's story time, I feel like. Okay, story time. When I was in high school, I went there for 3 days before I was kicked out, not expelled, but I was moved to independent study for my own safety because people just messed with me so much, right? Like I could not escape it. But the thing about it is like, there was this one, for some reason they had picture day at the beginning of the year. I really don't know why. Picture day was like the second day of school, right? And I'm in line to get my picture taken. And back then, you guys have seen the pictures. I looked crazy. Okay? I looked crazy. This one kid was throwing Beanie Babies at my head. Or maybe it wasn't Beanie Babies, but it was like some kind of stuffed something, like throwing it at my head from the bleachers. The pictures were being taken in the gym. And it got to a point where I was like, I'm going to end up fighting because this kid will not stop. And the teachers are seeing it and they're not helping. That's the other thing is teachers will not help. Teachers, I love and respect teachers and I feel like they should be paid more. However, a lot of staff at schools, right? Like, this might not be popular and you can disagree. A lot of staff that work at schools are just like overgrown kids their damn selves, right? They get so enveloped in like teenage drama themselves and they become little assholes just like the kids because they're constantly around kids. They're in that weird culture. It's weird. So the staff were not helping me or telling the kid not to throw stuff at me. So I said, okay, if no one's going to help me, then guess what? I'm going to fight. So I took my picture and then after we did picture day, after I saw that kid again, and it was towards the end of the day of school, we were going to the parking lot to get picked up for our parents or on the bus, whatever have you. And the kid walks up to me and he has a camera and he's like, it's like a little digital camera. And he's like videotaping me and laughing like it's a joke. Like I'm like some joke in front of him. So I was like, okay. So I just fought him. That kid messaged me years later, apologizing profusely, saying he deserved for me to hit him. He deserved for me to beat his ass because of how he acted. And people didn't mess with me in my town after I displayed that I can fight and that you're not just going to put hands on me and abuse me. So again, I say to you in the chat who was saying that, learn how to defend yourself. Violence is not right, but it's sometimes necessary if people are putting their hands on you, and you can't just walk around this life not knowing what to do if someone puts hands on you. So that's how I feel. And it sucks because a lot of schools tend to punish the person who is the victim of bullying, but it is what it is. You can't let people disrespect you. Let me see. Thank you, Naveen, who says, you are a blessing and I love you. The collab you did with Eden was such a great callback to your early days and gave me life. Yeah, I liked that video. And you said to follow you on Instagram, so I will. Let me see. And honestly, it was the same thing in middle school too. And it was so funny because when I got kicked out of high school, kicked out, moved to independent study, the principal was like, listen, I get it. And I get that you're not at fault that these kids are messing with you, but I'm not going to put everyone else on independent study. It has to be you. And it was what it was. I feel like I learned more on independent study anyways. I became more intelligent because to me, the public school environment is just not for everyone. Like it's hard to be focused in class sometimes when you're in this setting of like kids all around you. And some people do flourish in that, but I personally did not. My grades went up tenfold when I went on independent study. So let me see. Did you see Vosh yesterday? He went full attack on leftist fragility and LGBT toxicity, especially trans toxicity. Worth a look. I did not see it, but I saw him today, like apologizing about it. And all I can say is I'm glad I don't have an audience that like makes me whip myself in the back every time I make a mistake. I love that I have an audience that can take a joke, that doesn't get offended by everything. Like, I love that. Let me see. Thank you, Annie, who says you're so beautiful. Love you. Love you too, Annie. I'm gonna follow you. Annie TMB. Thank you, Zeke, who says love you, Blaire. I've been a fan since 2015. Did I even have a channel in 2015? I think I started the last month of 2015, basically 2016. So that means you were there like day one. So shout out to you, Zeke Garcia. And followed. But I also never want to give anyone bad advice. Like, I don't want you to get hurt because you're trying to like fight people. Will I ever do another video with Ben Shapiro? I'm down. I really liked the last video that Ben and I did. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, someone said I joined YouTube November 27th. Yeah, I think I joined YouTube November 27th, and I think I posted my first video like in December. So that's cool. Thank you, Rainus, who says, thank you for not backing down on JY. I can't stand people hurting children. Love you, longtime fan. Yeah. You know, I don't think I'll make another video, but I will keep posting updates to Twitter and stuff. Follow me on Twitter if you guys don't. It's MS Blaire White, Ms. Blaire White. I really liked my debate with Ben. And, you know, for everyone who, I don't know, I don't even want to address the fucking like hateful people, but there's so many people that act like I just do so much harm for the LGBT community. And it's like, were you, like, do you get to do debates with Ben Shapiro and like actually talk to conservatives? And like, that's important to me, right? I don't know. I'm being lightheaded. It's not making much sense. What do I think about Jacqueline's intervention with Eugenia? I think it was much needed. I think it saved her life, frankly. And shout out to Eugenia. Thanks, David, who says, if violence is never the answer, then what about the American Civil War and World War II? There's a time for peace and a time for war, including anti-bullying. Very true. There's a time to rise above it and be the bigger person, and there's a time to be the bigger person and beat someone up. There really, really is. And that's not, I'm specifically talking about if you are a kid in school, having people put hands on you, because that's not acceptable, period. And like fighting is not cool as an adult, by the way. Anyone who fights as an adult, like you're a trash bag. But as a kid, I honestly feel like you have to learn how to do it. Thank you, Haley, who says, I love you, Blaire. The world needs more people like you. Thank you, Haley. Thank you, Disney Quest, who says, love you, Blaire. Do what you love. I do what I love, which I'm so thankful I'm able to do. It seems so simple, but what I love is just like talking to you guys. and the fact that I get to do it and support myself, and it's everything. Thank you, Judith, who says I love you so much. Love you too, Judith. Let me follow you. Judith Morales. $7488. Okay. Followed, but you're not following me, so follow me back, Judith. Let's see. Someone says, I agree, but physical violence is wrong. Physical violence is wrong, but self-defense is not. Okay. Thoughts on Candace Owens. Y'all know my thoughts on Candace Owens. That bitch tried to play me. Shout out to her though. A natural vegan. I don't know that person. Does estrogen change your voice? It does not. How did you and Caitlin become friends? We had a mutual friend, and Caitlin said that she liked my videos and wanted to go out to dinner, and the rest is history. The Greatest American Hero says, if you need to fight, focus on BJJ, Krav Maga, Sistama, or Wing Chun. I don't know what any of that means. I assume it's all fighting techniques. I was never trained to fight. I just learned how to like fight, not in like a technical, skillful way, but just like I grew up having to fight, so I fought just like street fighting. That sounds really ghetto, but just like schoolyard fighting is what I'm saying. Let me see. Testosterone changes your voice. Estrogen just not. Do I think Ben Shapiro was a fraud? No. Thoughts on PragerU or Dave Rubin? Dave and I are no longer friends. I don't really respect Dave. And PragerU, I think they make some good content, and I have no problem with PragerU. Thanks, Kelly. Who says, how much does a window air conditioning unit cost? Can we do a fundraiser? There is AC in my building, but I also don't have windows in my apartment. I have like, here, let me show you. Let me show you. I have like sliding, my entire apartment, the living room, office, and bedroom all has that like big sliding thing. Like it's all just window doors. So there's no like windows in my apartment, if that makes sense. It's just one big window as a wall. Thanks, Sammy, who says, hello, on Vice, you commented on non-binary. Are your views still the same? My views are still the same with a bit of a slight, Bella, stop it. With a slight alteration in that I think non-binary is something that is for young people for the most part. That's what I think, based on my last debate when I asked like 20 non-binary people to come in and they were all like 14, 15 years old. Thank you, Very Naughty Kitty, who says, hey, Blaire, I lean a little bit to the left. I've always loved your content because you give a sense of truth with a little bit of saucy satire. Thank you. Saucy satire, that's funny. Saucy satire. Thanks, Sargon of Assyria, who says, Blaire, if you ever come to Central California, Modesto, hit me up and I'll treat you and Joey to some good Middle Eastern food and drinks if you're up to it. Modesto, I've been to Modesto before. I like Modesto. I'll hit you up for sure. Thanks, Cecilia Joy, who says, does Joey have a brother? Hook me up. Joey does have a brother. Google alert, Blaire White. Oh my God. I'm scared. I got a Google alert with my name. You guys don't know. Every time there's a Google alert with my name, I like go through it like, okay, it's going to be something negative. I know it's going to be something negative. Because it's always some article saying something bad about me. What is this? Google alert, Blaire White. Okay, it's about the Jessica Yaniv. What website is this? Churchmilitant.com. Oh, they're talking about my video. Okay, it's positive. Usually when I get a Google alert, it's gonna be from some liberal ass website writing about me, and it's always like bad. So that's okay. We're safe. Not a hit piece. Thanks, Cody KC, who says opinions on Milo Yiannopoulos. Love you, Blaire. I think Milo served a purpose for a while, and then I think that Milo he just made a lot of wrong moves. What are you doing?
Oh, we're gonna go to the pool. We left the key up here.
Okay.
Where's the blue thing?
Blue thing.
The fob.
Oh, the little drawer on the dresser.
The one by the toilet?
No, the dresser. Let's see. Let's see. Christy Carmen, thank you. She says, you're an inspiration. Follow my Instagram. I will follow your Instagram. Thank you. Woody says, thanks, Christy. Christy Carmen. Why are you not coming up? There you are, Christy. Okay, let me refresh. Bella, don't bark or growl. Thank you, Ashonastasia Fox, aka As Honest as a Fox. With no message. Shout out to you. What are you doing, Joey?
I couldn't find it. I don't want to bother your live stream though.
Yeah, don't bother my live stream.
Why aren't you wearing pants?
I'm wearing a romper. You don't wear pants with a romper.
Oh, okay. What do you got on? Go to the pool.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Love you, Christy.
Thanks, David, who says, fights in Ireland. You go to a nightclub, coming out at closing time, get fast food, and eat it while drunken street fighting happens. That's how it is here, too, in Hollywood. But if you go to West Hollywood, if you want to see street fights, you see gay people street fighting, and it's the funniest fucking thing in the planet. To just see, like, a couple of, like, super gay guys, like, swinging on each other, but, like, doing no damage, it's really funny. Thanks, Sphinx, who says, can you summarize the Jessica Yaniv update for me? I missed it. Yeah, mostly what I was updating was about basically how the reaction from some trans activists towards me was negative, which was disgusting to me. There was a video that surfaced today, you can find on Twitter, of Yaniv just like going crazy on someone, threatening to mace them. There's victims that have come forward. There's a lot. Thank you. Hey, it's Karen. It says, your hands down the most beautiful transition. Thank you. Oh my God. It's very sweet. Someone said, how are you still on? I took a nap. I know there's some new subscribers recently, but what you have to know about my live streams is they go on for a long time. I'm not here for 5 minutes checking in to say hi. I'm here for 3 hours to take up your whole day. Let me see. Someone said, I love you, teach me how to street fight. I'm not a street fighter. I'm just saying, as a kid, I fought to defend myself a lot. I'm not some hood ass street fighter in the alleys fighting, okay? Thank you, Smug Isabel, who says, just wanted to say thank you for opening up about your personal situations with being accepted and shunned. It really helped me understand I wasn't alone. Thank you, Smog. Love y'all. Someone said just took my Xanax and I'm ready to chill and listen to Blaire. It's funny. Shout out to Xanax. Thanks, D4 letter J, who says, what's the update with ghost hunting? I gotta message that guy back because I was gonna do a collab with him. He's like a ghost hunting channel. And like, I wanna go ghost hunting. Let me see. Are you a fan of Ready to Glare? I have seen a few of her videos and I think she's really cool. Shout out to Xana. Have you ever been to Sir in West Hollywood? I have not been to Sir in West Hollywood. I have been to Luther Vanderpump's other restaurant, Pump, and I love Pump, but I have not been to Sir. Thanks to Justice, who says trans relationship help. Please, I'm very alone. Well, what do you want help on specifically? Narrow it down and I'll help you. I feel like I'm pretty good at giving relationship advice. I've like set people up who end up together like married with kids. Not even kidding. I followed you. Follow me back. Thanks, Jay, who says, hi, Blaire. Have you always had a strong opinion on politics? Is it kind of an American thing? Yeah, actually, yeah. Even before I kind of evolved to where I am now with politics, I always have been strongly opinionated. And who's calling me? It's spam. I've always been super outspoken and stuff. Christy says we don't talk about Fight Club. True. Thank you, Katie the Muffin, who says, hey, Blaire, you look amazing. Is your workout and diet routine still the same? Not really. I'm a little more loose on my diet recently because I've been doing intermittent fasting a lot. And that's kind of given me a little more freedom to eat what I want. So I've been doing a couple days a week. I will fast completely. Like I won't even eat that day. Like I didn't eat Tuesday this week, or maybe it was Monday. One of those days I didn't eat at all. And today I'm not eating. I'll eat tomorrow around noon. And I might be working out tonight with JC. I don't know. Debate Peppa Pig. If Peppa Pig emails me, we can debate. Thanks, Amber Intellectual Dark Web, who says, is Jordan Peterson legit? Is the lobster still okay? I don't know anything really about Jordan Peterson personally. I've never actually even spoken to him. Thank you, KX. Very generous. KX says, I heard you were trying to talk to the president and get invited to the White House. I get invited to White House parties all the time. I'll be happy to slide you a +1 when one comes up that you like. Don't use social media, but you can message me on my anonymous T account. Well, listen, if you're willing to give me an in, I got you. Or you have me, and I appreciate that. So I'm actually going to follow you. What's your account, though? I looked it up on Instagram, and I'm not seeing it. Is it Twitter? Saint of T? Let me see Twitter. Okay, I found you. And I followed you. Follow me back, and we can DM. Thank you, Catherine, who says, what's your favorite video you've ever made? Ooh. I think my video with Shane, just because, you know, it's not political, but I feel like my audience kind of learned a lot about me in that video. And it just brought us closer together, if that makes sense. I'm following you right now, by the way. And it doesn't help that it's my most viewed video ever. So probably that one. Or it doesn't hurt, rather, sorry. Thank you, Insomni Art, who says, hi, Blaire, I love you. I actually found you because of Onision. And I'm not a fan of SJW. Thank you for broadening my political views. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of you guys used to be Onision fans. Insomni Art. I love you guys, by the way. Like, doing lives like this really, for a while I wasn't doing them, which is really stupid because I feel like it's just an easy way to really talk to you guys, and you guys get to know me better beyond, like, you know, my regular videos are just like 10 minutes or less concentrated topic, and it's like, this is just like stream of consciousness, and we just get to hang out, and it's just better. So I like these. Let me refresh the little super chats. Thank you, Zib Zib, who says, I doodled a quick sketch of you during the live show. Thank you so much. Here's my Insta. Did you post it? I'll go look right now. Let's see. Garden Girl Gallery. And I'm already following you. Okay. You did draw me. Cute. Thank you. I'm flattered. Thank you, moderator, who says, I love your content. Been following you since you made that video about those crazy SJWs in your class. P.S. You already follow me. How do you feel about cancel culture, and have you ever been canceled? Girl, I'm canceled every day on Twitter. But how I feel about cancel culture, that it's toxic. I feel like certain people deserve to be canceled if they're legitimately harmful to society, but like Jessica Yaniv. But for the most part, I don't partake in cancel culture. PayPal, you've got money. Oh, thank you to someone who just sent something on PayPal. Mel Driller. Love you, Mel. Let's see. Thank you, Sargon of Assyria, who says, just checking in if you've seen that video on Instagram of my niece, Kiana, cleaning up the Trump star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She loves you and the president. I have not seen that video, but shout out to her for doing street cleaning for free. You know, that star is like, I don't want to dox myself, but I live very, very close to the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, and that star is like always vandalized. So yeah. Thank you, Morgan. It says, I just watched you and Crowder from 2 years ago. Brilliant. Cool. Love you, Morgan. Thank you, Chrissy, who says, I want to do a surgery in Plano with your doctor. Do you have to be off of hormones during the surgery? Thanks, and you look great. Yes, my surgeon did require me to take a break from hormones before surgery. It's something to do with like blood clotting and just some other stuff. So he will ask you to go off of hormones for, I think, like 3 weeks. Thanks, Christy, again, who says, go to Jacqueline's tour date so I can meet you. I think I'll be going to her LA date, but I don't know. Thank you, Theo, who says, hi, Blaire. What is your opinion on detransitioners? My opinion is I think it's unfortunate that someone could make that big of a mistake of feeling like they're trans and then realizing they're not. Yeah. I also think detransitioners, you know, adult detransitioners also beg the question, if there are adults who change their mind, there has to be some trepidation involved in like kids transitioning, right? That just makes sense to me. But, you know, I'll get a lot of hate for saying that too, so. Let me see. Thank you, Blue Avatar with no message. Thank you, Jenna, who says, Blaire, you've helped me a lot speaking out about my overall opinions and beliefs, and you also helped me get out of a really toxic friendship with a trans trender that emotionally abused the hell out of me. Thank you so much. Ew, I'm glad you're out of that friendship then. Cannot relate to being friends with trenders. But shout out to you. Love you. Let me refresh. Someone said I was arrested. For what? I don't break the law, honey. I was most definitely not arrested. Let me see. Have you heard of Jazz Jennings? Of course. I actually would love to do a talk with Jazz Jennings on my channel. Would you guys like that? Someone said, do the people in your building know you're trans? I don't know. I never really thought about it. It's a weird thing to think about. I don't know. I know some people in my building know who I am because they know who I am from the internet and stuff. But like, I don't know. I love how my members get like special names in the chat. Shout out to you, Jennifer, 7-month membership. Love you. Someone said, Blaire, be my sugar mama, please. Listen, I am too busy being Joey's sugar mama. I already have one sugar baby named Joey Sarson. So thanks, Miles, who says, Blaire, the question is for you and the chat. Who remembers Rage After Storm? I remember her. Do you guys remember her? Thank you, Bunula TV, who says, Mwahaha, I am Bunula, the vampire bunny. Shout out to you, Bunula. Blaire, did your debate with Voss change your views or make you reflect on them at all? I didn't know. Like, it was just the same old, you're mean, Blaire, and I'm going to tell you why you're mean. It's the same old thing. Like, it's the same shit. You're mean. Okay. I don't think I'm that mean. Someone said, my family hates me for being trans. What can I do? My dad's side hates me too. Shout out to you. You're better off without certain people. That's what I've learned. After I did my video where I kind of talked about my family and my reality or whatever, it kind of, like, people thought maybe that, I don't know how people perceived that video, but they might have thought it was me being weak because I was crying or whatever. But actually, I needed to do that to kind of realize, like, I'm so much better off without them. That side of my family is literally like a dumpster fire. Like, I don't need them in my life. So screw them. Screw your family who's rude to you. Someone says Blaire is usually on the defensive from what I've seen. I mean, maybe, but you should also maybe question how many people are on the offensive usually when it comes to me. Like, maybe I am defensive a lot of the time, but a lot of people are very, like, you know, attacking towards me too. So you kind of learn to be on the defensive a lot, but. Thanks, Jay, who says, do you think detransition is more about not being trans because it's hard as opposed to people feeling like they miss their feminine or masculine traits? I think it's just some people think that they're trans when they're not, and then they realize that they're not, so they detransition. And while these people definitely need to be heard, and I think it's an important story to be told, I don't like when they go as far as to like condemn transitioning altogether, because for a lot of people, transitioning helps and it works and it's the right choice. I'm one of those people. So I think it's definitely important to tell their stories. I'm not one of those people who's like against them telling their stories at all. I think they're valuable. I've done videos on it. But don't go as far as to be like transitioning in itself is all bad, because that's really not the case. Someone said, do you like Milo Yiannopoulos? I don't know him. As in, like, I don't know him personally, so I can't say if I like him or not. Someone said, I used to be attacking until I actually took the time to hear Blaire and her views without being biased or clouded. Now I'm a big fan, even though I disagree on some things. Thank you. That's very sweet. I'm seeing a lot of that lately. People just being like, I used to hate you, but now I'm finally listening and it makes sense. And like, I appreciate that a lot for sure. Thank you, moderator. It says your fans call you mom because you are nice and understanding with your fans and you care for them. You also protect people and you bring up things that need to be addressed like a real mother. Thank you. Makes me want to cry. I definitely, like, a lot of people do refer to me in like a motherly way, and like that's very sweet, and I think it's very sweet. Thank you, Haley Todd, who says, Blaire, please state your stance on abortion. Also, what do you think about Andrew Yang and Bernie? Much love from Virginia. Shout out to Virginia. Okay, my opinions on Andrew Yang and Bernie is that I will not be voting for them. Definitely not Bernie. I think Andrew Yang is a little more palatable to me than Bernie, but still no. I'm not a Democrat, and there's no one on the Democratic side that is wooing me to the point where I would change parties. My stance on abortion is one that is constantly shifting. I am, for the most part, pro-life. I see some circumstances in which it may be a necessary thing. I'm not all the way extreme to the right, or I'm not all the way extreme to the left. I also am not educated to the point where I think that my opinion is going to be static. I think it'll consistently change. So, yeah. Thank you, Matthew Paul, who says, have you spilled the tea on Dave Rubin, or are you legally not allowed to? I feel like you might have addressed this, but I missed it. I'm legally allowed to say whatever I want. I haven't really gone into what happened with Dave just because, I don't know. I just feel like, who cares? Like, do you guys even really care that much? Like, he is someone who I don't particularly enjoy. We had a friendship. That friendship fell apart. He's not someone I particularly care for now, but I don't think it's super important to talk about. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everyone wants to know, but I just, same thing with Eden. It's like, you know, these friendships, it's like, I understand that these are also YouTubers, and so they're also people you guys know, whatever. But it's like, I just feel dumb hashing out stuff that happens in private. Like, I feel like what happens in private, and what happens in public happens in public. And the line does get blurred when I'm friends with public figures, but if our falling out happens in private, I don't want to make it happen in public too, if that makes sense. If that makes any type of sense. Thank you, Dirty Cleggy, who says opinions on Lauren Southern and Stephen Molyneux. I don't know either of them. I know Lauren Southern. I wish her the best. I know she retired recently, so I definitely wish her the best with her future endeavors for sure. Greetings, Blaire. Have you been to Europe? It's gonna sound crazy, but I have never left the country. I am born and raised in California. I have traveled all over the US, but I have not left the country, not even to Canada or Mexico. Book me, Europeans, and I'll come. Book me and I will come. Thank you, Mr. who says, do you ever just get annoyed with political spaces? I do, because I'll inevitably disagree with the left wing SJWing about and the right undermining itself with addressing things they're weak on. Do I ever get annoyed with politics? Yeah, for sure. Like, I burn out like everyone else. I think you guys can tell when I burn out. You guys can tell my content gets a little less political and then it gets more political. It goes in waves. Right now I'm feeling quite political. The 2020 fever is starting to set upon me, and you guys can probably expect a lot more hardline political content coming soon. Yeah, it goes in waves like everyone else. Blaire, do you ever think you'll collab with Chris Raygun? I would love to. Are you friends with Nikita? I am not friends with Nikita. We were on a plane together about a month ago. Actually, when I flew to do the Vice thing to New York, she was on the plane. And you guys know I have a really strong fear of flying. Like, I hate flying so much. But for some reason, her being on the plane with me made me feel like the plane was not going to crash. Because I was like, there's no way that 2 transgender YouTubers are going to die in the same plane ride. The statistics are just off the wall. So I was comfortable that the plane was not going to go down when Nikita Dragon was on my flight. Did you hear that Jessica Yaniv was getting investigated for CP? I did hear that, and I hope it's true. Thank you, Amanda, who says, you and other common sense YouTubers have helped me feel more equipped to discuss issues with some of my younger friends who identify as trans. Thank you. I'm glad. I really am. Did you stay and chat with the other people after the Vice debate? I did not. I didn't really. I mean, briefly I said bye. Someone here? Joey's back in here. It was brief, but it wasn't any like in-depth conversation, and we left on good terms for the most part. I did hug Jamie after the debate. Who's here? Who's here?
Danielle, Erica, Stephanie.
These hoes are playing with me. Don't invite people to my house. Thanks, Eric, who says, Blaire, I'm a huge fan. I've watched you since the very beginning in 2017. Just wanted to show my support. You're very special. Thank you. I love you. Thanks, Bunyal, who says, tell the world I'm a superstar. Bunyal is a superstar. Jamie was the non-binary person, not the host. Bella, be quiet. I just watched your recent video about the whole Jessica thing, and you're a new subscriber. Thank you. Welcome to the family. Okay. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Lindsay Shepherd was unbanned on Twitter? Really? That's great. That's exciting. I'm glad. She did not deserve to be banned. Someone to take you shooting and film it. I agree. You know, there's not really places to shoot in LA other than like ranges, which I have done a video shooting at a range on Head's channel if you want to go watch that. And then whenever I visit Joey's family in Virginia, I shoot guns. I shot an AR-15, which was really cool. I think it was an AR-15. Joey! You can't hear me. I was going to ask him if it was. I think it was, though. Are you a Christian? I am not religious, but I respect religious freedom to the utmost degree. Thank you, Lisa, who says, just wanted to say that many Bernie supporters are not with the SJWs, but mostly we just ignore them rather than talk about them. Not all lefties are crazy. Also, I watch all your videos. Love you. Love you too. I definitely know that not all liberals are crazy. Like, Siobhan Head is my good friend. She's a liberal. But I could never personally ever vote for Bernie Sanders. That is me. That's just me. Thank you, moderator Marcy, who says, hey, wasn't here at the beginning, but have you spoken to Jacqueline recently? Crazy drama with Shane. I understand if you don't want to talk about it. Well, that's the thing. I don't really think there's drama between Jacqueline and Shane. I just think it's all them involved. And you guys know, friends with both of them. My name has been in. I am not in it. So no, not involved. Thank you, Blue Avatar, who says, Letter Kenny is the Firefly of Canadian Hicks sitcoms. I don't know what the hell that means. I'll be honest. I don't know what the hell that means. All right, guys. So here's the thing. We've been on for about 3 hours. I'm burning up. I love you guys. I had the most amazing time hanging out with you guys. Lives are my favorite thing to do. I will be doing, I think, one more when the month is over, maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday. Also, a main channel video coming at the beginning of next week as well. I love you guys. Thank you to everyone who sent in your super chats. I always appreciate that. Thank you, Symbiote3, who says, just wanted to tell you, you brought me out of a dark place, and I thank you for that. I love you, Symbiote. You're so sweet. Love you, and I'm so glad. Hi, Ben. Jackson says, can I say hi to Ben? Hi, Ben. I love you guys, and I will be back soon. Make sure you guys follow me on all my socials if you don't. It's MS Blaire White on all my socials, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.